Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everyone, and welcome to KerbSide Collections with me, Adam Ritchie. This is, as you are aware, a podcast about physical media collectors for physical media collectors. Join me as I burrow into the psyche of this episode's avid collector. I'll say avid collector, Michael. Okay to say your last name,
Yeah,
or
yeah, go
yeah,
for it.
Michael Lopresto. How you going? And thanks for coming on the show for first thing.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Adam. I've been a big fan of your Instagram page and podcast for a long time now, and it's had, yeah, a big influence on me because, like, you brought up so many things that I just wasn't aware of. Like, in the last year or so, no, last few years, I've become a really big, like, an avid fan of the Arrow label.
Okay.
But I didn't
Yep.
know that you could order directly from the Arrow
Yeah, yeah.
website, and that,
Mm,
like, ordering from the Arrow website is one thing. So being in Australia, ordering from the UK, like, it always raises the question, like, how long is the shipping going to be? How
yeah.
much do you pay for shipping, and what's the quality of the shipping, right? So
Mm,
we can get into all those questions later on. But
yeah.
yeah, that's part of the collector's journey, I think.
It is. And look, thanks for the feedback. I do appreciate that. It makes it all worthwhile what I'm doing. Well, as I've said on my show with Shane, we podcasts you really do them for yourselves, but it's nice to have people that appreciate the work that you're doing. So yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, we'll get into the arrow stuff. So I guess to start it all off, we are just announcing that we are recording this in June 2025, right in the middle of the month, a freezing cold snap through the country. Not sure
Yep.
what it's like in your part of the world.
Yep. So it's still 12 degrees here in Adelaide. So very cold morning. I'm here in my home office.
It's
Yeah.
literally the whole country. It's
Yeah, no heater or
bananas.
anything. So yeah, I'm
Mm.
yeah, freezing, but I'll try to push through.
Yeah, yeah. I've never seen. No, I don't want to focus on the weather too much, but I've never seen a time in history that a country the size of Australia, the whole country is experiencing the same cold snap. Like it's unheard of.
Yeah, it's
It's
remarkable,
really
isn't it?
weird. Yeah.
Mm,
And in Queensland, I've lived in Queensland 11 years, notoriously not cold. I've never seen it. Yesterday, our highest temperature was 17. I've never seen it that low in my 11 years living here. Like it's properly cold. I actually turned the heaters on in the house, which I've never had to
wow,
do
there you
before.
go.
Never had to
Yep.
do.
Yep. And
Um, I,
you're from
I'm actually
Hobart originally.
from the northwest coast of Tassie. I'm actually from Devonport, but
Oh,
yeah.
Devonport.
So from Tassie,
Okay.
so I do know what real cold is like.
Mm,
And being up here in Queensland, obviously I'm acclimatized now, but it's fucking freezing. It's stupid.
yep.
Yeah. But at least we've got sunny days. It's at least
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess kicking off the show, what got you into collecting physical media, and how long have you been doing it, if you don't mind answering?
Yeah, so that's a good question, Adam. So I suppose I've been an avid serious collector of physical media for about 3 years now. So it
Okay.
was,
Yep.
yeah, September 2022. That's when I bought my first 4K disc player. So the Sony
Okay.
X700. So I bought
Yep.
it for $325 from JB Hi-Fi. I thought it's
Bro, this
not,
is so similar to me.
yeah, so
S-
I just bought it as an experiment, right? So I thought, about 300 bucks, like, see how we go. Like, it doesn't
Mm,
matter if it works out or not, or if I stick with the hobby.
yep.
Um, so so getting there, so I've just been, like, getting more obsessed and more obsessed ever since in the last three
I guess
years,
I
right?
love to hear that.
But getting there was a long and circuitous route, right? So
Mm,
um, I suppose in a way it goes back to my childhood, right? So yeah, growing up
mm,
in the 90s, like, I'm 35 now. So growing up in the 90s, I've got really fond memories of, like, going to Civic Video, right, and
yep.
renting
Yeah.
VHS. Yeah, so I'm not sure if Civic Video was like a franchise all around Australia, or was it just
I
South
think it
Australia?
was like I knew of Civic Video. I knew it existed. Because where I was from, Blockbuster wasn't present in my town because I'm from a smaller town. There was Blockbusters in Tassie, but just not where I lived. So we just had local video stores as well, but not a Civic. There was tons of them though.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, there's quite a few films that I used to watch when I was a kid, but
Okay.
um, two of them have really stayed with me, and, like, two of them have been really close to my heart. So one of them
Yeah.
is Terminator 2, right,
Okay.
which I
Yeah.
think is, like, one of the best films ever made,
Hmm.
right? And the other one is Leon, right? Some people
Ah,
call
yeah,
it
yeah,
Leon the
yeah,
Professional, but I call it Leon
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
that's the original film's name.
Hmm.
And the interesting thing about those two. films is that they've got multiple versions, right? So
Yes.
as a kid, um, being familiar with those films and loving them a lot, and then um, with Terminator 2 especially, watching it on network television, I'd be watching it and I noticed that scenes were missing, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
because there was a theatrical release and then
Hmm.
there's an extended release, and I think there's like an extra extended release as well, which I haven't seen. I don't really want to see it to be honest, but
Yep.
um, the extended release, like it became the definitive version for me at the time. So when I saw though like the theatrical release, that version on network TV, I'd feel a bit shortchanged, and I'd feel like I wasn't seeing like the proper version of the film. Um, yeah, so like you can sort of debate examples and what's the correct version of a film. So I think James Cameron's been
Yeah.
asked about Terminator 2, and he said, both the theatrical release and the extended release are both, they're both as good as the other. I think he may have
Okay.
even said that the theatrical release is the definitive version, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah, I'm happy to defer to James Cameron in that case. But yeah, having said that, I remember yeah, beginning of 2003, there was a new DVD section, like a massive DVD section at my local
Yeah.
Kmart, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I was like really poor growing up, but I remember seeing um a DVD. It was like a double disc. I think it was like the Ultimate Collector's Edition or Deluxe Edition of Terminator 2.
Right.
So I remember buying that for $32, and I thought, yeah,
Oh, wow.
this is where it's at, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that old copy that I've got is around the place somewhere. Yeah, I've just got to do a bit more detective work to find it.
And
So yeah, so there's yeah, that experience with Terminator 2, and the other one is Leon, right? So
mm,
I remember, yeah, so when I was 10 years old, my old man showed me the VHS from Civic Video of what was called The Professional on the cover back
hmm.
then, and it just blew me
Yep.
away. Like I like seeing the cover, like it didn't really vibe with me, but watching it, especially that incredible like action-packed opening and everything, like it really like the whole film really vibed with me. And the thing about Leon was that it wasn't really available in Australia for the longest time. Like I remember going to DVD shops like Borders and so on, but no one had it. So I don't think it really had a DVD release in the 2000s in Australia.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. It may
yeah,
not have. Yeah.
yeah. So I remember in 2009, probably the first thing I ever bought online was a copy of Leon from Amazon. And that I think that had both versions, the theatrical and the director's cut. So,
I'm actually just looking it up. Because I have the Blu-ray and look, I love Leon. I think it's a great film. I remember watching it in the 90s and going, this film is great. So I have the
mm,
Blu-ray, but I've never upgraded it to the 4K. Um, I have a really great memory. Like, I mean, Gary Oldman, oddly enough, who just got knighted overnight, like Sir Gary Oldman now.
oh,
Did you
fantastic!
see
Yeah,
that?
I had no idea. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Look at yeah, that warmed my heart a lot because Gary Oldman is one of the greatest we've ever had
Absolutely.
in the profession, but just his line delivery of everybody, like
Mm,
it's so
yeah,
amazing.
like so exuberant. Like he just puts his heart and soul into every performance, especially
Yeah,
that one
yeah.
as Norman Stansfield's
It's
like the corrupt DEA agent. It's just like one of the
so
great,
over the top.
yeah, one
You're
of the
making
great
me want to watch
villains.
this movie because it's been a
Yeah,
while since I've seen it. And when you talk about T2, I actually prefer Terminator than Terminator 2. I actually think it's a
interesting.
better film. Yeah. Although I remember when T2 came out, it was just took over the planet when it first came out because of the morphing technology that it had and the liquid, what do you call them? T2000? I don't know what he was. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, T1000, the liquid metal.
T1000, sorry. And
Yeah,
this is the thing. I'm not look, I do like the Terminator films, but I'm not hardcore. I'm the same with Alien, the Alien franchise as well. I enjoy them, but I'm not obsessed with them enough to get the 4Ks and stuff, you know what I mean? So,
mm,
I kind of have lost as I always do, I've lost the point of where I was going with that little anecdote.
yeah. That's right. So, like Adam, your original question was, how did I get into
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, physical media collection? So one pathway was firstly being like a massive film buff, but also being really like having a real care about what version of the film that you're getting. So
Yeah, okay.
firstly, yeah, firstly, is it the best version of the film available? Is it the director's vision of the film,
Mm,
or
mm,
is it a version of the film that was interfered by the studios or some,
yeah,
some stupid producer or something? Um, so yeah, so there's that, and now we're living in like the golden age of film restoration,
we
right?
are.
So
Yeah.
um, so I'm not sure. Like it's, I suppose you'd say it's been going for about 20 years or so, but
Hmm.
it's really made that transition from being like if you go back to say 2004, I think that was the first 4K restoration of a film, which was Doctor Strangelove, right?
Was it
So
really?
yeah,
Wow.
so
Didn't
and
know
that
that.
yeah, so I think yeah, Doctor Strangelove was
What a
2004,
what a film to
and
choose.
yeah, and Lawrence of Arabia was 2006.
Now that's what a film to choose.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mm.
um, but yeah, so film restoration back in the 2000s, I think it was um main a big motivation of it was like archiving film, so like film preservation.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
because you couldn't like back in the 2000s, you couldn't project a 4K film natively with a laser
No.
projector, right?
Right.
So yeah, so and then with Lawrence of Arabia, I know they had the 4K digital intermediate, and then with that they made a new 70 millimeter like celluloid film, so that was
Mm.
able to be taken around uh, to be shown again
Re
at cinemas that could had the projector to play it, right?
hmm.
But yeah, after that, I think it was only 2016 that 4K Blu-rays became commercially
Yeah.
available for,
Yeah.
punters like you and me.
So I made the jump from DVD to Blu-ray really quick, like pretty much instantly. Blu-ray, when did that start? Oh 06, oh 08, something like that?
Yeah, I'd say about '06.
Yeah, and I jumped straight onto Blu-ray, but I took my time with 4K for some reason because I just thought, well, Blu-ray's pretty fantastic. But then, yeah, like so similar to you, I didn't start collecting 4Ks until around I got the same 4K player in around 22 as well, maybe 21. And that's look, yeah, it's very similar stories. I've always collected physical media, but haven't been hardcore until the last few years, where my
Mm,
my collection has grown by about 2,000 titles in like 3 years or something silly.
okay, so when you say 2000 titles, does that include
Mm.
DVD as well?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So when I first cataloged my movies, and I've told this story before, but I cataloged them just in a spreadsheet, and I had about 330, and that took me a few days to catalog them the way I want in my, because I like spreadsheets and I keep stats and this and that. But yeah, since that initial 330, I've now got about 2,500 or 2,300 or something like that. Hang on. Yeah, not quite 2,300 of actual physical discs.
Mm,
So that's a lot in 3 years' time, or maybe 3.5 years' time.
yeah, yeah, that is quite a lot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I'm still yet to catalog my collection. I know from a
Do you know roughly how
previous
many you have?
I think it's roughly 350, give or take.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
yeah, just yeah, 4K and Blu-ray. So,
Yeah.
I've got a pretty strong preference for 4K. So if I can get it, so yeah, so again, that's just to get like the very best like presentation of a film.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, often the Blu-ray is great. Yeah, often that's all you can get anyway. So.
So is that your approach? Because do you just really collect the films that you love? Do you blind buy movies at all? Like, do you get movies you've not seen that have a good reputation, maybe? Or just curious
Yes,
about that?
yeah, so that's a good question. So nowadays I do blind buy a lot.
Yep.
That's because I've got so much confidence in certain labels. So one of them is
Yeah.
Arrow. So
Okay.
like so many films I'd never like even being a pretty avid film buff, like so many
Mm,
films I'd never
mm.
heard of,
Oh,
right, prior
it's
to
insane.
the Arrow release, right?
Yeah.
So like Arrow does such a good job with film restoration and
Mhm.
like distribution. Like they make their own trailers as well, and they're like
Yeah.
they're like so good. Like they really
Yeah.
like really catch your interest, right? So just look up the Arrow trailer for like a film like Deep Red or Phantasm, right? So both films that I never really heard of
Hmm.
before seeing them on Arrow, right? Um, so yeah, so things from Arrow, from Second Sight and Studio Canal, like they basically hit it out of the park every time.
Yeah, Studio Canal, sneakily one of the great workers on transfers. Like everyone always talks
Mm,
about what Arrow and Kino do, but I know I'm on record of saying this before, but Studio can now do phenomenal work. Like,
absolutely,
and they
yeah.
release in Australia, so there's a lot of films that have come out in the last couple of years from Studio Canal that just they look magical, especially because they're a French company. There's a lot of French films in that as well. They did the Jean-Pierre Jeunet films recently, Delicatessen and all that, and they look stunning.
Mm, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I think yeah, Studio Canal, it's the most underrated label. Like it doesn't get the
Uh,
attention that it
yep.
deserves.
Yep, I agree.
But Studio Canal, if you're listening, stop putting content warnings on all your discs.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes,
all your viewers
because
are
this is an
smart
old
enough to
film.
know that
Mm.
people express things or something that were of their time. Like we're not going to
Yeah.
get offended by everything we hear. So,
Disney do the same too. If you hit like put push play on like an old Snow White or one of their old animated movies, it has attitudes from previous times, whatever that phrasing is. But it's really annoying. It's like if you're going to be so aggravated and offended by a movie, well, grow up.
mm.
Like people are so easily.
Yeah,
It's
and those content warnings are not even relevant for most of the films that they put out.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
one of the best, well, one of my favorite releases of the last few years is The Wicker Man, right? So,
Oh yeah,
the
that's
the
yes.
original with Edward
The
Woodward,
yes.
right? You
What a
know,
great film.
what's offensive about that film? Maybe the ending is
Well,
offensive
yeah.
to some people, right? But it's no different from any other, film that's got a bit of violence, right? But yeah, no one says anything, offensive whatsoever in The Wicker
Mm,
Man, but it's still got the same lame content warning,
yeah. Yeah,
right?
it's just a coverall, I think. It's just put it on everything we release. So
Yeah.
that's a problem with, and on a broader and off topic a little, but that's an issue with films being made and released today is that studios are too scared to offend people, which is why everything is so bland and just basic stories. There's nothing brave out there. If you want to look at bravery in or something that's going to be offensive from especially from a comedy perspective, you've really got to go to TV and animated TV, the only ones that get away with it, like Family Guy and South Park. You
Mm.
would not see a movie like a Caddyshack or even close to a Happy Gilmore wouldn't even be made today. We're getting Happy Gilmore too for the simple fact that Happy Gilmore exists, but you just don't get decent comedies now.
Yeah, that's right. I think, yeah, to a large extent, a lot of horror's been sanitized as well. So it's sort of
Yeah,
like horror's like it's going through like something of a renaissance at the
it
moment because it's
is.
become
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
popular. Like there
Because it
wasn't
makes
really,
money.
yeah, that's right. So you can have a low budget film,
Mm,
like a good premise, a good concept,
yep.
right? And yeah, you can make a lot of money from it. So yeah, that's why you've got studios like Blumhouse and so on,
Mm.
pumping out a lot of horrors and
The problem
um,
is Hollywood don't learn from their own lessons. Like they can see these low to mid-budget films making bank, and they're not making bank just because they're horror. It's because they're actually still fun and enjoyable to go and watch at the cinema. Like they don't
mm,
release movies like that. When Mission Impossible, the last Mission Impossible should have made $500 million. Like it's obviously not the best movie in the franchise, but it's made 150 domestically at the moment in America. Like people aren't going to see movies like that. They want to see something different.
mm.
And that's the thing. But we're still getting continual rehashes of old IP. Like it's going down a really bad path. So bringing it back to the physical, it's great that we collect physical because we'll always have those movies
Yeah,
that
that's right.
when
Yeah,
movies
so
could be movies.
absolutely, when movies could be movies, and
Mm.
like we know that, well, for the most part, like obviously once we have them, they're never going to be messed with, right? They're never going to
Yes,
go
yes.
go and delete scenes that might be politically incorrect or
Yeah.
offend someone's sensibilities. Like it is disappointing where you have some films that are released that are a bit censored, like
Mm.
Crocodile Dundee. I think
Mate,
there's
I hope that's boycotted. I hope it sells zero copies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's massively disappointing. That
yeah.
they've gone and, you know, remove, yeah, maybe one or two scenes that are probably not that
Yeah,
offensive at all.
yeah.
But
Why
yeah,
not just put the label up in front? This might offend you if you're,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we've got ratings like, mature audiences and so on. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean
Does
that
a
should be more
mature
than enough.
audience exist though as well? Like that's the problem, right? The M's does stand for mature. Just no one seems to be mature enough to go, this is art. Like, do they look at like there's plenty of paintings from history where they depict battle scenes, and there's blood and guts, and these are oil paintings. Are they offended by those? Like,
Yeah,
it's really
exactly.
selective and virtue signaling type of thing. Like, how dare you? Like people still get into Tarantino about the language he uses in his movies, especially the N word, I would say. But man, this guy grew up around black people. He grew up around that language, so that's it's normal to him. He's not just because he's white. Look, yeah, look, I have broader issues about that type of, I guess,
Yeah,
manufactured
it all
hatred.
comes, yeah, absolutely. Like it all comes down to context and intent.
Mm,
Like with Tarantino, there's a very clear artistic intent there. Like,
mm,
like yeah, Tarantino, like he's obviously not racist at all. Like he's not trying
no,
to put anyone down.
no.
Like that language, like it has a realism to it. It's got a clear artistic intent. So yeah, anyone who gets,
Mm.
claims to be offended by that, yeah, it's not for real.
No, exactly. It's just, yeah, context is a big factor. Anyway, what were we up to?
Yeah, so yes, like speaking about my journey getting into physical media collection, I suppose the last part of it is yeah, the quality not just of the visual aspect but the audio as well. So I
Mm,
was, yeah,
yeah,
um like really getting into like audiophile gear, like really good sound and music reproduction and so on.
hmm,
And streaming things a few years ago, like you'd watch it and it just wouldn't be right, and I didn't understand why. So say you're watching a film, streaming a film like The Hateful Eight. There's lots of
hmm,
scenes like out in the snow, and I'd see like all these like digital artifacts, a bit of
yeah,
pixelation, banding and stuff. And I thought,
yeah,
like there's got to be, something wrong with it here. And a lot of that largely that's just due to compression over streaming, right?
absolutely, yeah.
Same with a lot of other films and TV shows you watch. You yeah, you try to listen to the dialogue, but it's a bit too
Oh,
muffled and
yeah,
undifferentiated. And again, that's largely due to compression, right?
yes,
Because
yeah,
like the audio track is being compressed so much for the stream, like it
hmm,
loses its detail.
yep,
And like our ears and our brains are particularly attuned for human voices, right? So when we
yeah,
hear voices that where you've got that muffling and compression and so on, like it really, like you can really notice it. And that's why a lot of people just use subtitles when they watch film and TV shows, right? But
hmm,
if you go from streaming to watching a film or TV show on the Blu-ray or the 4K, like you
yeah.
can really hear the difference. Like it
It's a
really
massive,
is,
yeah, it's a
yeah,
massive
massive
difference because
difference.
it's like a lossless
Yeah, that's
quality.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that lossless audio track, right? So
Mm.
you can really hear that definition. You get a lot of dialogue clarity, but also like the surround audio track and the Dolby Atmos, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like the when you're streaming something, like say you're streaming something on Netflix and it says Dolby Atmos, right? Yeah, it might sound pretty good, but it's a pale comparison compared to the
Yeah.
lossless Dolby
Yeah.
Atmos track that you get on a 4K disc.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I guess that'll lead me on to a question I was going to ask later. But what type of setup do you have?
Mm.
With your you have an Atmos setup? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I do. So
Mm.
I've got, I think the setup that you use to watch films, like obviously you need to have something that works for you and your
Mm.
space and your budget and so on. But yeah, I'm
Hmm.
lucky to have a space that works really well for me. So yeah, so I've got like an old character home that's got like a separate old school kind of lounge room that you'd have. So I've got
Ah, okay.
um so yeah, like a lounge room. I've got solid blue stone walls and so on.
Oh,
I
nice.
noticed that a lot of people today, they've got their TVs in an open space, uh,
Mm,
like living area, right?
yeah.
And I think that that can be detrimental for a couple of reasons. So one
Hmm.
is sitting far too, like the distance is far too far away from the
Yeah.
TV screen.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I've got a 65-inch Sony OLED, right? So
Hmm.
and I think 65 inches for an OLED, that's sort of the sweet spot for price because once you start getting
Yes.
bigger than that,
Yeah.
then spending really big money.
Hmm.
But my viewing distance is 3 meters away, right?
Yeah.
So which I'm pretty happy with. Like when you're sitting 3 meters in front of a 65-inch TV, like it does feel like a pretty big
Yeah.
screen, right?
Yes, I'm about 2.5 meters from mine because of just the space I'm in, and it's yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah,
You
yeah, nice. Yeah.
wouldn't want
So
a bigger one.
yeah, so there's like a mathematical formula and stuff that you can use to work
Mm.
it out. But I
Yeah.
think the at least according to the TH cinema standard or something, the ideal distance from a 65-inch TV is 2 meters, right? So
Yes. Yeah. Which
maybe
isn't
I could do
far.
that. Yeah, it's not far at all, but if you're sitting
No.
um yeah, 2 meters from a 65-inch TV, like it's going to feel pretty massive,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Yeah.
another benefit of having like a 4K signal and a 4K display, because if you're sitting
Hmm.
2 meters away from a 65-inch OLED, native 4K display, like it's going to look so lifelike and so detailed,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
maybe sitting 3 meters away, I'm missing a little bit of that detail, but
Yeah, it'd be negligible. Like I wouldn't.
yeah.
It's not going to change your experience too much. So yeah, there's. Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't think so. Do you have a sound bar? Like, what's your Atmos setup?
Yeah, good question. So, people often neglect sound and it's yeah, really to their
Yeah, the
detriment,
sound is the
right?
most important for me.
Yeah, that's right. So I think yeah, George Lucas may have said that sound is 50% of a film, but Danny
Yeah.
Boyle, who I really agree with, he said that sound is 80% of a film, right? So
Mm,
that's true for so many films. Like the sound is so much more emotional and central to the film
yeah.
compared to the visual. Yeah, so I've got a like a Sonos system, right? So because I'm in a character home, like I can't really be mounting the TV on the wall, and I can't have
Yeah.
um, speakers, cut in the ceiling and so on. So
Gotcha.
with the Sonos system, so I've got the
The
Sonos
arc.
Arc Ultra
Yeah.
under the TV, two subwoofers, and then I've got the two Era 300 surrounds, right? So with
Right.
those surrounds, like they're done really well because they fire left, fire right, and fire upwards,
Hmm.
right? And I've
Yep.
got, yeah, again, being an old home, I've got really high ceilings. So what they
Yeah.
do is they fire the sound up to the ceiling and then
Hmm.
um, the sound bounces
Bounces.
back down
Yep.
again. So yeah, so the Atmos effects are pretty convincing for the most part. Like,
Mm,
when you're watching a Mission Impossible film, like you can hear the
yeah.
choppers going up and down. You can hear with an Atmos track, you've got that object tracking for the
Yep.
sounds. So you can hear like choppers and motorbikes and things like moving, left to
Mm,
right, behind you, above you, that kind of thing. So
yeah.
yeah, it's all pretty convincing. So yeah, Sonos is a pretty cost-effective way to get to experience those full, Dolby Atmos sound effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like yeah, you get plenty of deep bass with the two subwoofers.
Yeah.
You
Two
get
subwoofers is a surprise. Like I would have just thought one was enough, but I don't know how you get two must rock
yeah,
a bit.
Yeah, so it depends on how big your space is. So yeah, a lot of people can get away with one subwoofer that's well placed within the room. But yeah, having two subwoofers, it makes the bass yeah, a bit more even, a bit more full, and
Okay.
yeah, probably a bit deeper as well.
Right.
But yeah, it does depend on your space. Yeah, I'd say like
Do you
yeah,
get in trouble from the family about having stuff too loud? Because I know I do.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, but we try to make it a thing of watching films together when we can. So
Okay.
like that's a
Yep.
bit of family time
Yeah,
for
cool.
us.
Yeah.
So and that way I can crank up the volume without any trouble.
Yeah, if they're involved, it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I rate the Sonos system pretty well. the main
Mhm.
downside with the Sonos system is that it doesn't read full DTS
Ah,
signals. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of like gives a watered down version.
Right.
So yeah, like the DTS equivalent of Dolby Atmos is DTSX, right? So and lots of
Yeah.
4K discs have DTSX, right?
I
But
think it's
then
better than Atmos,
yes,
honestly.
yeah,
I,
I
I, I,
think so as well.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just has a greater clarity to it and is less. I've kind of found with Atmos, not all Atmos tracks are the same. They're all,
Mm,
some are like all some 4K transfers. They're not all equivalent in their brilliance. But with DTSX, they're just always crisp, clear, and kind of perfect, to be honest.
yeah, I find that DTS it consistently has like a richness and a realism to
Mm,
it that you don't get often with
yeah,
Dolby Atmos.
yeah.
So yeah, the Dolby is a bit more thin and fragmented.
I
But
think,
yeah,
yeah, I
DTS
think
always hits it out of the park. Yeah,
it,
even with
it,
the
it,
the, the watered down version that you get with the Sonos system.
well, I think even with Atmos is that Atmos works because it is. I think Dolby have built something that's more easily to compress, which is why streaming services will have Atmos and not
Mm,
DTSX.
yep, that makes
DTSX
sense.
is like that lossless type of file. I think a little bit of speculation there, but because of that crispness and yeah, the clarity that it has, I think even with like I have Atmos tracks on some Blu-rays, which kind of indicates how compressionable is probably not a word, but I'm going to use it.
Mm,
That Atmos can be. If you're getting Atmos on a Blu-ray, I know sound doesn't take up as much file space as the image, but the fact that, yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen DTSX on a Blu-ray. I mean, I'm probably wrong, but I don't think I've ever noticed it.
yeah, I've never seen DTS-X on a Blu-ray before,
Mm.
but yeah, lots of Blu-rays have DTS 5.1. Um,
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure if there's something in between 5.1 and DTSX out there. Maybe
No, there
like a
probably
7
isn't. There
7.1 or
probably isn't.
something. Um, but yeah, I think you're right about that. Like
Yeah.
Dolby is just more amenable to compression
Mm.
than DTS.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for like a lot of Criterion Collection, for example, so like
Mm.
recently we watched Infernal Affairs. Uh,
Okay.
so so you're watching that with the original like Cantonese audio track,
Hmm.
subtitles, and then you've got all the sound effects and all the music, right? So that was a DTS 5.1 track, and it just blew my mind how good it
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, yeah, all
yeah.
those DTS tracks are just incredible. Um, and then another thing about the Sonos system is that it can't see DTS mono, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
a lot of Arrow 4K Blu-rays that are of films from the 70s, they've got a DTS mono track. So many of the Dario Argento films,
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
like The Bird with the Crystal Plumage
Hmm.
and Deep Red,
Hmm.
and also The Cat o' Nine Tails. So they've got DTS mono tracks, right? So yeah, the other night I watched The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and I just watched it on the with the Sonos sound because in my player I changed it from Bitstream to PCM. So that's sort of,
Ah, yeah.
yeah, I'll have to read up how that works, but I think there's some kind of down mixing involved to take it from DTS mono to like a
Yeah.
normal stereo track.
I've read about that stuff before, and I get confused by it. Like, and in the end, if I'm just too confused, I kind of just give up trying to understand it.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm the same. So like it gets pretty complicated, and I'm not a
Mm.
sound engineer or anything. But yeah, I do have a second sound system that I use sometimes. So like it's more of an audiophile system. So there's
Yeah. Okay.
um, local speaker maker called VAF, right? So they make some like really hardcore loudspeakers. They look amazing, like they're really heavy and well made. So
Hmm.
I've got a pair of VAF Signature I91 book mounted stand mounted speakers,
Okay.
and they're 15 kilos a piece. So like really
Jesus.
substantial. Yeah, they're as
Wow.
heavy as a lot of
Well, they're
Ford
made out
static
of
speeds.
Blackwood or something.
Yeah, so that they're made of like a really thick, high quality MDF, and then they've got like an
Right.
American cherry veneer. So they look really nice. And then I've got a Marantz model M1 streaming amplifier, and that's
Okay.
got an HDMI port, so I can swap out the HDMIs when I want
Ah,
to play something in mono or stereo with the Marantz and the BAF speakers.
good for older films. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So the BAF speakers they particularly excel at mono tracks, and yeah,
Hmm.
thankfully the Marantz can read DTS mono, right? So
Right.
watching a film like Deep Red, like the soundtrack is just incredible,
I'll
right?
have to
It's
test
just
that out on my own because I've got the JBL 9.1 and it kind of I got that because it ticks all those boxes. Like it's a really great entry level Atmos, but it does everything as well. So I mean
mm,
I do watch a lot of old movies, so some of those mono tracks they're fine. Like actually quite loud and they um yeah, but that's interesting that you say that though. I didn't realize there'd be such nuances, I suppose,
yeah, that's
with
it.
the
So
Sonos.
yeah, so for anyone like listening who's just using the speakers from the TV, like you're
Mm,
missing out, like you're missing out on percent of the
absolutely.
film,
It's the
right?
dumbest thing you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many options for what you can do to like improve the sound quality. So you go down that more, somewhat traditional route of having like a left and a right speaker and a subwoofer as well. So you can use
Yeah.
something like the Marantz
Yeah.
uh, Model M1. It's often on sale for $1,280. So you're getting
Okay.
a lot for your money.
Mm.
But that's just a streaming amp on its own that can receive the HDMI
Yeah.
signal. Another
Mm.
like high value option that I'd recommend is the Samsung Q990D. So I looked up the
Yep.
price for that yesterday. It's on sale for about $1,100, $1,200. All the big retailers do price matching, so you can usually get
Yeah.
um, a good deal for it. So that's like a massive soundbar, a separate subwoofer, and then you've got
Hmm.
two Atmos enabled
Yeah.
um, uh, surround
Left and right
speakers,
rears.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to get some speaker stands from Amazon or something. They're probably
Yeah. That's what I
hundred
did with
dollars
my
each.
JBL. Just
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
It works. Yeah. And because I'm really the only one that watches movies in my lounge room, so I have my speakers sitting either side of my recliner. So I just
Very
get,
nice.
I'm going deafer by the year.
Ah,
It's just, yeah, because I blaze and yeah, because like my kids, well, my daughter especially will come out because I'm watching a movie and it's really quiet because of the, like we were talking about before, the voice. It's just, oh, it's so quiet. So you pump it up and then all of a sudden action happens and it just blows your face off. And then the whole house is just rocking with all this gunfire or whatever the hell's happening on screen that isn't talking. And I'm always up and downing on the volume, just because
yeah.
it doesn't happen with all films, but some films it just because it annoys me because all of a sudden it's too loud for me as well. It's overstimulating. So, um, I don't know why they do it that way, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So are your surround speakers, Adam, do they fire left, right, and upwards, or is it just?
Yes,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, nice.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I mean. Like JBL does everything. It's really, and there's a newer model out now than the one I've got, which is they're about you can pick them up from around 11, 1,200 bucks on sale.
Mm,
If you do a bit of haggling at JB, you'll get them better. But yeah, they're remarkable systems. I actually have an episode. Well, it might have dropped by the time this one airs, but with a guy called Q, the movie collector. He lives in Alabama actually, and he has the same speaker as me, and we're both on that episode. We're both kind of raving about how good it is, and
mm,
also how much better DTSX is than Atmos as well.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. So yeah, I really wish I had a system that could, play the like the full fat DTSX. Like that would be
Mm,
fantastic. Maybe one of these days, or
yeah,
Sonos, if you're listening, allow
yeah.
your system to read like the full DTSX.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, like just like a bit of penny pinching maybe. They just want to save a bit of money by not paying for the
Yeah,
full
these
subscription. Yeah.
licensing things, yeah. And that's where when I buy something, even especially, well, I make sure it can play everything. Like I want a 4K player that will play HDR10 as well as Dolby Vision because I don't think the X700 plays HDR10. It only HDR and Dolby Vision, right?
Yeah, so the X700. the Sony X700 plays HDR10 and Dolby Vision, but not
Mm.
HDN, not HDR10 Plus,
No,
because 10
no.
Plus is a proprietary format for Samsung, I believe.
Yes,
So,
yeah. There's a
so
lot of
anyone,
films that are HDR10 plus. So
okay, interesting. Yeah, so
yeah,
I think HDR10 Plus is fairly common on Amazon Prime, but
yeah.
but yeah, so like any film that's 10 plus, it just gets down sampled to
Mm.
HDR10.
HDR,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
which is usually pretty good. Like
Oh yeah, it's still good.
yeah,
Like it's still better than most other releases, but um, you know,
yeah, that's
or
it.
DVD or Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yeah, like most people who aren't avid, physical media collections, they don't really stop and
Mm,
think about the difference between HDR and SDR.
hmm.
But the difference is profound, isn't it? So
Yeah, it is.
um,
Yeah, it really is. So,
yeah, like I
yeah.
was reading the some of the differences recently. So with standard dynamic range, so what you'd get with
Mm,
a DVD or I guess any Blu-ray,
mm.
the color range is I think it's 16 million colors.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
with HDR, so high dynamic range, the color range is over a billion colors, right? So it's
Correct.
just like
Yeah.
the difference is
Yeah.
just night and day really.
And I
And
think
also, yeah,
Dolby Vision is the highest color, like it's like 12 billion, and then HDR10 plus is 10 billion, I
well,
think.
that's incredible. That's just mind blowing. So yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, to compare 16 million colors
Yeah.
for standard
Yeah.
dynamic range, and then to compare
Yeah.
that with billions, that's
Mm.
just mind blowing. I can't even get my head around it. But
Yeah.
you can really see it like with different signals that you give your TV.
Definitely.
So
I mean, I have some Blu-rays that I'll put in, and because the X700 will upscale and it'll say HDR, and they look as good as some 4Ks, honest to God. Like, there's quite a few movies where I'm going, there's no way I'd ever upgrade this. It just
mm,
seems, it would be silly to do that, to spend that money, which is why I've kind of stopped upgrading a lot of my old Blu-rays. Um, yeah, I mean, if you've got a player that upscales and comes out really well, like you don't need a 4K. I'm not sure if you've seen. I mean, the only example that's sticking in my head at the moment is Umbrella released Last Stop in Yuma County last year on Blu-ray, and that Blu-ray is as mint as a 4K I've seen, for especially for the type of film it is and the cinematography in it. Like it's amazing. No
yeah,
way I'd
incredible.
ever upgrade that to a 4K because I don't know that would look any better.
Yeah, I've had that experience with Umbrella as well. So
Mm.
a few years ago, I got Jean de Florette, the French film. So
Ah, yes.
it's on the one Blu-ray disc. So Jean de Florette, that's a 2-hour film, and then the second film is Manon de Source. So the director, his name's Claude Berry from memory. So
Hmm.
he like originally conceived of this film. It was going to be 4 hours, but he thought there's no way people are going to want to sit in the cinema for 4 hours, so he made it into two separate films.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, so I put the disc in my player. It's just the Sony X700 at the time. And thought, God, this is incredible. Like the colors are so
Yeah,
vibrant, they just pop off
yeah.
the screen. Right, this could easily be a 4K disc. Yeah, I was just blown away.
I actually watched a few days ago, which I went through my letterbox diary just to make sure because I knew there was one more recent. My Big Trouble in Little China. The
Mm.
Blu-ray for that is fantastic. Like it's really, really good. If they ever do a 4K, and it would look even better with 4K because of the just the color and the special effects they have in that. But holy shit, that was a great Blu-ray.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
There's so many just standard Blu-rays that look fantastic. I think there's also a lot of films that really do need the 4K disc.
Oh
So
yeah,
I think
yeah,
the thing I haven't compared it with the older Blu-ray, but the thing on the 4K disc, it's just
yeah,
mind-blowing. Yeah, it just
yeah,
looks like the incredible like detail and realism. Like it looks like Kurt Russell's right in front of you. Like
yeah.
it's just mind-blowing. And all those scenes in the snow, like it just like
Mm,
you feel like you really are out there. Like the realism is just phenomenal.
yep.
If you were streaming the thing, like with all those scenes in the snow, like you just see so many digital artifacts, so much banding. It
Yeah.
really take you out of that
The
immersive experience.
It would, and also the whiteness of the snow wouldn't be quite as white. It'd be a bit more beige.
Mm,
It
yeah, that's
wouldn't
right.
be that bright, brilliant white that you see. Um, that's going to lead me on to then. What are your favorite transfers? What do you think the best transfers are that you have, or that you've seen in your collection?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Oh, so many. Yes, I've
Do
got some
you
that
you were just talking about the Argento films and those ones that you were mentioning, I've owned them but haven't seen them, but I did watch another, it's not a Argento film, I think it's a Fulci film called no, Mario Bava, Blood and Black Lace from the
are nice.
60s. Do you own
Yes.
that?
Not yet, but that's next on my list.
Holy shit, that's an incredible 4K. It
Mm.
is a stunning looking film. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Um, yeah, so I think I've got all of Argento's Giallo films that have been
Hmm.
released by Arrow, right? So that's
Yep.
The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, The
Hmm.
Cat o' Nine Tails, Deep Red,
Phenomena.
Tenebrae, and
Tenebrae,
Phenomena.
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
so that's five.
Hmm.
So, and then I think Argento's other films within that period between 1970 and
Opera.
1985. So Opera's 87. Yeah, so Opera's a Giallo film. I'm not sure if Arrow has a release of Opera, but I do have the cult films release of Opera. So
Yeah, I think I have the same one. Yeah, it's just a Blu-ray of that.
yeah, and I got the
Yeah.
cult films release of Suspiria.
Okay.
So like, just on the regular Blu-ray.
I don't even
But
own
yeah,
Suspiria, you know.
oh, you're missing out, Adam.
I've
Yes.
seen it, and I actually quite like the more modern. Well, I had seen the modern one first, and I really like that.
Okay,
I
interesting.
liked it more than the Argentos. I don't know why. I just
Yeah, I haven't seen the remake of Suspiria. I'm a bit reluctant to see it because I love Suspiria like so much. I think Suspiria
yeah,
is one of the great horror films. Um,
yeah. Look, and they are. There's not a lot of difference, but I don't know. I really like them both, but I did like the remake more. But again, that's probably because I saw it first. I don't know.
Not fair enough.
Mm.
Um, so for people who aren't familiar, so you've got this genre of film called giallo. So that's the Italian
Yeah.
word for yellow, right? So they're
Hmm.
all characterized by being a murder mystery whodunit, right? You often see the murderer um, throughout the film just from their point of view. They're wearing black gloves. Um, but there's a lot of like psychological depth to the films, and especially with the Argento films, I've just got banging soundtracks. Like the music is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a
Yeah.
lot of those films, Argento worked with a an Italian progressive rock band called Goblin, and they just hit it out the
Yes.
park every
Yep.
time. Like I just listen
Yep.
to those soundtracks just on their own. Like
Yeah.
they're just so good, and they really like add add that sense of like emotional depth, often that sense of eeriness, like when like you're watching the film and you can feel the like the suspense and the uncertainty that something really bad's going to happen. Yeah, so like the sound for those films is just yeah, the soundtrack and the sound design is just next level. Something that you do need to get used to with Argento's films is like there's a lip sync
Yeah. Yeah.
like dubbing delay, and it's
Hmm.
sort of like annoying at first, but then you get used to it pretty quickly. So the reason for that is that in Italy in the 70s and 80s, like when people went out and they filmed something, right, it would just be the visuals, right? So that they didn't have
Yeah.
the the technology or the know-how to
So
record
it's got the
people's
ADR,
voices.
right? Is what they
Yeah,
call it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So and then yeah, they would just add the dubbing in post-production.
Hmm.
Also with foreign films, like I'm generally a purist. Like you have to watch it in the original language with
Yeah.
subtitles, right?
Yeah. I'm like that too.
But
Well,
yeah, I think
where I can be.
yeah, exactly. But I think Argento is the exception because it's not like when Argento filmed it, everyone was speaking Italian. Like he would have actors from all over the world and they would just be speaking their own language, right? So you'd have people on set during the actual scenes that made the final cut of the film, like they'd be speaking like English, Italian, German to each other.
Hmm.
With the Italian actors, they would often be speaking their own dialect, and then um, that would be dubbed over in post-production in like a different Italian dialect. So yeah, I think Argento is the exception there. There's probably no definitive audio track between like English and Italian.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good
often
to know.
yeah, so often the other part, like the other theme within giallo films, is that you've got an outsider who becomes like an amateur sleuth who has to solve the murder, and often
Hmm.
that person is either English or American, right? So Argento would use actual English or American actors, and they would speak English and then do their own dubbing afterwards in post-production. So in Deep Red, there's an English actor called David Hemming. He's excellent in the film. Yeah, Tenebrae has an American actor. I'm blanking on his name. And then Phenomena has Jennifer Connelly. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
don't think Jennifer Connelly did her own dubbing though, but yeah, still a great performance.
That might make me watch that sooner because they're just up
Mm,
on my shelf with this with the yellow sticker on, waiting for me to watch them. Um, yeah, just got to look. I love foreign films, but sometimes I just got to be in the mood. Even though I have subtitles on all the time, I've still got to be in the mood to watch a subtitled film. I know that's
mm.
weird and counterintuitive, but that's how I am sometimes.
Yeah, you do have to be in the mood, but yeah, I think yeah, like collecting foreign films, like it's a really important part of my collection because
Mm.
some of the very best films ever made are foreign language
Oh,
films.
absolutely,
Um,
without question. Yeah.
and especially today, like many of the best films are being made overseas. Like they're not being made in Hollywood. They're not being made in English. Like if you
Mm.
look at the best films of the last few years, like Godzilla Minus One comes to
Yep.
mind. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely perfect film. Like
Yeah.
yeah, just like
I
yeah,
I
like
kind of like to
yeah, the
look
special
at
effects. The emotional depth. Like the most beautiful ending. Like it's just got everything.
I think it's also because they aren't tied down by that. What we were touching on before is that cowardly studios, like you see original and brave movie making there, and it's what people should be drawn to. I like to like I kind of recently went down a rabbit hole. Well, in the last couple of years of guys like Ruben Östlund and Thomas Vinterberg and those type of directors and Selinsky Emma and people like that. And those movies, pretty much everything those guys make is phenomenal type of films. They're just, I'm not sure
That's
if
really
you've delved into
interesting.
those guys.
No, I'll have
No,
to make a note of those directors, but yeah, they sound
especially
great.
Selinsky Emma, mate. Everything she touches, whether she's directed it, but she's written a lot of stuff. Just look her up in her films. Like Portrait of a Lady on Fire is amazing. Petite Maman is amazing. Paris 13th District is very different in itself, but still an incredible film. My Life as a Courgette, My Life as a Zucchini, which is a stop motion film that she wrote. Incredible. It's like just beautiful films.
That's really
Um,
interesting. Yeah, I'm yeah
mm-mm.
really keen to see those.
Yeah, I highly recommend them. Thomas Vinterberg, I'm not sure if you've seen The Hunt with Mads Mikkelsen.
Not yet, but
Yeah, and Iceland I could just rave on about for ages as well. Yeah, I mean he did Triangle of Sadness. So after I saw that, I went and looked at his older stuff and movies like The Square and Force Majeure. Just yeah, it's kind of where it's at, just from a storytelling and characters perspective. Like I like world building and character more than plot sometimes because you don't necessarily always watch a movie for its plot. You watch a movie for what you're seeing visually, what you're hearing, and the characters. That's just the characters what you remember mostly, I think. In not that's not the case in every film, obviously, but that's what I look for in those type of films. And yeah, you're in for a treat once you get to them.
yeah, that sounds
Mm.
great. Yeah, lots of plot-driven films like they can leave you a bit cold because because I suppose a lot of those plots have just been done to death. And that's something I love
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Argento's films as well. They're less plot driven. Sometimes they don't always make logical sense.
Mm.
But to quote Guillermo del Toro, they make lyrical sense. Like
Yeah,
they just make
yeah.
like incredible emotional sense. Like they really vibe with you. It's yeah yeah really striking the visuals and the music working together. Like it's incredible.
Yeah, I kind of actually vibe with the David Lynch quote where he says, "Life doesn't make sense, so why do people expect movies to?" Which from
That's
David
so
Lynch
good.
is a perfect quote because none of his movies make sense,
I love
but
that
they're
quote.
so rewatchable. Like they're so just engrossing and engaging. It's insane.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a massive David Lynch fan. I think I've
Hmm.
got almost everything, um,
Yeah.
almost all of his films on physical media. Um, maybe all except Wild at Heart, which I've got on,
Yeah,
which
Wild
I
Hearts. Hard
yeah,
to
I bought
get.
that on Apple TV.
Ah, yep.
Yeah, probably anything I can't get on physical media, I just
Mm.
get it on Apple TV when it's because they often have things for $5 or whatever, so you can get some films that are a really good price.
I
And
think it's getting a release and another release at some point.
yeah, I think it's been out of print for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like I've looked it up on Amazon and it's way too expensive for what I would want to pay for it. And it's actually my favorite Lynch film. I really loved Wild at Heart. I watched it last year, I think.
Yeah, I love
Did,
Wild at Heart. I'm keen to watch it again. Yeah, for the longest time, you couldn't stream David Lynch films anywhere. Like you couldn't buy them on Apple
no,
TV or
no.
Amazon Prime. Yeah, so that's yeah, like another reason why like I really wanted to have all of David Lynch's films on physical media.
Hmm?
And yeah, a couple of years ago, I borrowed he had one of those like elaborate cardboard collections of Twin Peaks. I think it's
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
Twin Peaks, A Complete Mystery, and all the missing pieces, right?
I
So
think we're getting a re-release of that too, the complete A to Z in Australia. I thought that was coming
yes, or
soon, but
complete Z to A, I think they call it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still happening. I was told
Yeah,
it was,
fingers
but
crossed. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, had a really good experience watching Twin Peaks season one and two, and then
Hmm.
Fire Walk with Me for the
Yep.
first time. And then I got so you had the old cardboard um collection which looks great, but I don't like the idea of um moving your Blu-rays in and out of those like cardboard sleeves. It just feels like you're gonna scratch them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so then I've got my own set of Twin Peaks, the same one, the complete mystery and all the missing pieces. So seasons
Hmm.
one and two, Fire Walk with Me, but it's more of a standard digipack, I guess you'd call it.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I remember after that, I was trying to watch um, Twin Peaks: The Return on Paramount Plus, and I just thought the streaming quality here is dog shit. So I
Oh,
stopped.
really?
Yeah, so I stopped watching, got onto Amazon, and I bought The Return on Blu-ray, and it was great. So
Yeah, there's still a few of his. I only watched Blue Velvet for the first time earlier this year. Really liked it, but there's a lot of his. I remember watching Lost Highway on VHS like half a dozen times trying to figure the fucking thing out. Because I like movies that make me think and try and figure them out. And I kind of gave up because I'm like, I don't think it wants me to figure it out. So I was like, okay, and I've not watched it since the 90s. It's
yeah, I've got the Criterion collection of Lost Highway, just a standard Blu-ray.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. I don't feel any need to upgrade it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Lost Highway it's got like a really like eerie, disorienting feel,
Mm.
and it's got I think the bad guy in Lost Highway is Robert Blake, and he just plays the most creepy, most sinister guy
Is
you'd
that the
ever
guy who
see.
killed someone in real life?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Okay.
he was a child actor. He was one of the original Little Rascals.
Oh, really? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, later on, he would have been in a lot of films, and later on, he just
Yeah.
plays the most creepy guy you'd ever see in Lost
Right.
Highway. Like I remember the first time watching it, yeah, I was just like, yes, so creeped out. And then I think after making Lost Highway in 1997, probably a couple years later, yeah, he was yeah, like he murdered his wife. So it's sort of like it's sort of like it's quite congruent with him being such a creepy character.
Yep.
So it makes sense
Makes
in a
sense.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking up some David Lynch stuff as we're talking, trying to find it because I actually have. I normally ask people what if they have anything they regret buying, but I actually have something I regret not buying. It was there's on Amazon. You can still it's still on there, but you can't buy it. It's a David Lynch box set of 10 of his movies. It was like $110 at some point, and this was last year. And then I was like, nah, because I just spent a heap of money on something else. I think it was during a Prime sale. I'll get it again. Not, and it's never seen it even close to that price since, and especially since he died. Like it's just yeah, impossible to get.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I've never seen that collection before. So that
Oh,
was just
really?
standard Blu-ray.
Has yeah, it has literally everything. It has I'll let you know. The complete film collection. So it has yeah, 10 discs. Razorhead, Elephant Man, Dune, Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart, Twin Peaks, Lost Highway, The Straight Story, and something else. Yeah. It's a pretty comprehensive collection of his films. And a couple of them because I probably held off because I don't normally like to buy a box set when I have a couple of the movies already.
Y-
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so yeah, apart from Wild at Heart, I think the other Lynch film that I don't have is June. So yeah, I'm
Oh,
not sure.
yeah. Well, you can get that on Arrow.
Yes, yeah, yeah, maybe one of these days.
I think there's even an umbrella release of that in Australia.
Yes, yeah, is it yeah, Umbrella or Imprint maybe.
Yeah, I got the
Um,
June 4K pretty cheap on Arrow when they had a sale, which I actually didn't mind at June. I can totally appreciate that David Lynch's June for what it is and the time it was made. Like I think it's pretty funky actually.
yeah, nice. All right, I'll have to check it out then.
All right, where are we up to? We kind of touched on this, but I'm gonna guess your favorite labels. I mean, we've already spoken about that, so maybe we don't answer that, right?
Yeah,
Um,
so favorite labels, yeah, so Studio Canal is yeah really close to my heart. They
yeah.
they always knock it out of the park. I can't.
Have you seen Brotherhood of the Wolf that came out in Australia
No.
recently? That's a Studio Canal, mate. That's a French film, and it's wild. I had such a great time. Like you can either think it's really shit or it's really great, and I was close to the really great. It's such a wild film, man. Like it just has everything. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really really cool. Really
Interesting.
good
All
time.
right. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm taking all these notes
Yeah, I'm
as you're
noticing your writing. Yeah, yeah.
yeah recommending all these great films,
Um,
Adam.
yep. I'm gonna bust your credit card.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, one of the very first
Oh,
4Ks that I bought. So the
hmm.
Studio Canal release of Leon, the um
Yeah.
the director's cut.
Is that a good
So
transfer?
oh,
Because
it's stunning. Like one of the very
yeah.
best.
I've got a
Um,
Blu-ray of it, which I really want to watch it today now because it's been in the back of my mind. So yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, I
so
cut you
I
off there.
watched the DVD of Leon so many times back in the day. So, you know,
Yeah.
about 15 years ago, I would have watched it well over a dozen times. But then watching the Studio Canal 4K transfer, like
Mm,
it's like watching a completely different film. Like,
really?
yeah, it's
Wow.
just
Okay.
like it adds so much detail. Like,
Has
yes,
that had an
yes.
Australian release?
Yeah, I think maybe it was Imprint. They
Being
released the
at Studio
standard
Canal. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
they released the standard Blu-ray recently. So
Right.
I got it just for the sake of it, just being a collector. And I think it was only the theatrical version and not the director's cut. So
Okay.
yeah, I thought that was a bit lame, but yeah, aside from that, it's a nice slipcover with art cards. So
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, aside from that, so yeah, the pseudo Canal version, it's incredible, like incredible transfer. Like yeah, I remember watching it for the first time when I got it a few years ago, and yeah, I was just blown away by the amount of detail like that I'd never seen before. Right.
Mm,
So
right.
maybe that's what it was like watching the film on the original um, you know 35 millimeter celluloid back in the day. But yeah, it just blew my mind being so familiar with that film, but then seeing it afresh.
It's interesting that you yeah say that like the detail in it. I might watch my Blu-ray later and just wonder if I need to upgrade it. I might do that at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
It scares me.
Um, yeah, so I'd recommend the Studio Canal one. I think Sony did a steelbook release as well
Oh,
last
okay.
year. So yeah, I got a copy of that as well. Just to have the complete collection.
I'm just looking at and I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Rare Waves, the UK store.
Yes, yeah, I love Rare Waves.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, like the way that I came across Rare Waves, it was a bit circuitous because back when I first got into the hobby, like I was mainly on my own, just watching stuff on YouTube by people like Jeff Rossio.
Hmm.
Yeah, like he had an influence on me getting into the hobby, like explaining stuff like compression and so on and all the reasons. Like he's got a great video called 10 Reasons Why why Blu-ray is still the way to go or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Um, yeah, so back in the day, like I was just getting most of my Blu-rays from JB Hi-Fi, but then
Hmm.
anything that JB didn't have, I guess I was getting from Amazon or eBay, right? But unbeknownst to me, I was buying stuff from the Rare Waves outlet on eBay,
Ah,
so stuff that
yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
anywhere else. So I
Yep.
remember I
I,
got
I still get emails from them.
yeah, like Cinema Paradiso. So I
Mm.
couldn't get that anywhere at all. So yeah, I got this great 4K Arrow label of Cinema
Yeah,
Paradiso.
you can now get from directly from Arrow if you want.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I will. Yeah, there's probably heaps more on the list that I'll get directly from Arrow now. But yeah, I remember
Mm.
when I first came across Rare Waves. I think it was brought to my attention because someone in the JB Hi-Fi physical media group on Facebook mentioned it. So, like, yeah, like someone raised the question, like anything
Yeah,
like you need to import, where do you get it from? And someone mentioned
yeah.
Rare
It may have
Waves.
been me because I know I've done that a lot on those channels.
Yeah,
Talk about,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it probably was you, Adam. Um, so yeah, I remember this is about a year and a half ago. So I went straight onto the Rare Waves website,
Hmm.
and I found something that I've been looking for a long time, and it's the Three Colors trilogy
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
by Curzon by Curzon
Yep.
Cinema.
Curzon do some good stuff.
Yeah, they are a top tier label,
Yep.
and like this is just the most like high quality, substantial packaging that you'd ever see. So yeah,
Hmm.
for listeners, I'm holding up the actual box set for Adam to see. It's got like this
Yeah.
blue fabricy outside, like it's really well made, and I think it's got yeah, so it's a 7 disc set, so it's got each of the three colors films, so three colors, blue, white, and red,
Hmm.
on 4K and Blu-ray. And then I think there's a yeah bonus Blu-ray disc as well. So yeah, that's something that I'd very highly recommend. Um, they're all great masterpieces, like yeah, some of the very best films that you'd ever see. They're
Mm.
made by the same director. He's a Polish director called Krzysztof Kieślowski, from memory. I'm probably butchering the name. Um, but yeah, like he's made a lot of really brilliant films, and even though it's a trilogy, like each film in the trilogy, it's got a very different feel and different style. Um, but yeah, they like with the cinematography and the color symbolism, like they do. Like each film does have its own color symbolism with blue, white, and red, so it's really
Yeah.
striking. So yeah,
Okay.
I think I've got three things from Curzon. So I've got
Uh-huh.
the Three Colors trilogy. I've got the Double Life of Veronique. So that's by the same director, Kieslowski.
Yep.
And I've also got Paris, Texas. So
Ah,
yeah, and that's
cool. That's a cool movie.
yeah, really stunning
That's
transfer as
Lindy
well.
Refn, isn't it?
Wim Wenders.
Boom Vendors. Sorry, I always mix those two up. Oh, I don't
Mm.
know why, because their names aren't even close, but I just always mix them up. Just on the Curzon though, they do have a Ruben Ostlund collection too, which would be after just sprouting him off to you. They definitely have one. I'll look on Rare Waves now while we're talking. This is
Yeah,
as
that rings a
always.
bell. Yeah, I'm just writing it down.
That's 135 bucks. That's actually kind of cheap. That's way cheaper than I remember it being. What have we got in
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think
Mm.
my Three Colors trilogy was about yeah, $120. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah, which I thought was a steal because you're getting so much yeah, like so much in the set for that and it's such a like a
Yeah.
high quality package as well.
This Austin one has six movies or it's six discs, but it's can't actually see exactly what's in it. Anyway, that's all good. Trying to make you spend your money.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
you
So
said you don't catalog your collection, yeah?
I don't catalog it yet. I know from a
I'd recommend doing it
previous
ASAP though before you get more
yes.
movies in because it takes time.
Yeah, that's it. So I think it was yeah, one of your previous guests, maybe Gem Rose. Um
Yes.
yeah, he said that he uses CLZ
Mm,
movies.
mm.
And then yeah, he just made a point of scanning, 10 or 15 a day and then after a month you've
Yeah.
cataloged them all. So
That,
yeah. Yeah, so
that's actually how I got him on the show because he reached out to me saying, "Well, you can do this," and I'm like, "Yeah, nah." Like, do you want to be on the show? Yeah, okay.
yeah, nice.
He wasn't really keen to be on the show because he's not really. Yeah, he didn't really want to be. He was a bit nervous about it, but
No,
yeah,
that was a great
can't be there.
episode. Yeah,
Yeah, Jim's a good
like
guy.
yeah, a
He,
lot of
he
really
actually,
interesting topics.
he actually just recently, I think he's back. He went to the because we kind of friends now. He got back from the UK. He has family in the UK, and he went on a shopping spree over there and brought back heaps of movies that you can't get here. Yeah,
Mm, yeah,
yeah, he
that's
did
it.
well.
And Jem also mentioned going to the IMAX, so that was
Mm,
I find that really
yeah,
interesting as well.
yeah,
Like that the other aspect of physical media, like watching films with actual celluloid. So that's something that I'd love to do
yeah.
in an
You don't have an
IMAX as
IMAX in
well.
Adelaide?
No, we used to have an IMAX back in the 90s.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, back when I was a kid, I saw three things at the IMAX. There was a doco on Alaska, one on the Grand Canyon,
Ah,
and
yes.
one for Cirque du Soleil, and that was 3D. So that was like
Mm. Wow.
a really striking 3D where like the performers were right in front of you, and you sort of like move your hand like this to go
Mm.
through it. So yeah, that
Wow.
was that great experiences there. But yeah, for whatever reason, the IMAX just didn't work in Adelaide, and then
Yeah.
we had the Palace Nova cinemas next door, and then they bought the IMAX theater, and then they did a
Right.
renovation, I think in 2007, where they integrated the IMAX with the Palace Nova cinemas, and now
Mm.
that cinema, the what used to be the IMAX, they call it the XEMAX, so X IMAX.
Right.
So yeah,
Ah, okay.
I try to see as many films there as I can. Yeah, it's a great cinema. Um, I'm pretty sure they've got a 4K projector, but I'll have to check with them because a lot of cinema projectors are still on 2K.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's actually really frustrating.
yeah,
Really,
so
yeah.
yeah, it is frustrating. But yeah, I've had some great experiences at the XEMAX recently.
Mm.
So I think it was 2023. In November, the XEMAX had the 4K restoration of Stop Making Sense, the Talking Heads film.
Yep, yep.
Um, yeah, so I saw that there, fairly full house, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah, right.
Like I couldn't believe how good it was, and it's just a work of genius.
I'll have to check that out, because Talking Heads was never something I was never into. And then this movie came out and everyone was just kind of falling over themselves for it. And I'm like, what's the big deal about this? But it does have my curiosity. It's like you've got
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
yeah. So there's the
Yeah.
A24.
Yeah. Oh, you got the A24 one as well,
Yeah,
right?
special edition. So like it just blew my mind when I saw it. So then after that, I was just like constantly checking the A24 website, and I think I had to
Hmm.
wait like 5 months before it was even on the A24 shop. Um,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
So you get
so
it directly from the A24 store?
yeah, I did. So not something that I'd recommend because you have to pay a fair bit in.
Because they're not
Um,
cheap, yeah.
yeah. So for mail and for conversion and so on. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so if there's something like that that you really want to get, it's probably the only
Mm.
option at times. I think Outrun DVD may have got a few later on, but they're probably
Yeah.
sold out pretty,
Yeah,
fairly
I'd imagine
fast.
they would. Yeah, those A24 ones are popular, and they're even 90 odd bucks each. Like,
Mm, yeah, that's it.
it's a lot for a movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so then the next month, so December 2023. At the XEMAX, they played The Abyss,
Oh,
but the special edition of The Abyss because I
yeah.
think the original theatrical cut may have had a lot cut out of it, so that's
Hmm.
why it didn't really vibe with audiences because it
Depends
was
what
missing.
country you're in, I think, with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so the 4K restoration of the special edition of The Abyss, right? So that's actually the first time I'd seen it, and it blew my mind. Like
Mm.
beautiful transfer, yeah, really incredible film. Yeah, if you watch like a doco about the making of The Abyss, it just sort of um like you see how James Cameron like really like I don't want to say tortured, but yeah, really put the screws on
Oh,
his
I
actors. Yeah, because it was a really grueling filming process to be like filming, 16-hour days in the
yeah.
water and so on.
Well, you can get it from the horse's mouth because I actually listen to Michael Bean has a podcast now.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's called Just Fooling About, and this latest season he hasn't had any guests because of he normally wanted guests in-house. So basically the last 5 or 6 episodes is just him talking about the movies he's made. And he made 3 movies with Jim Cameron. And the very latest episode was all dedicated to The Abyss. But because it's my favorite podcast because this guy just doesn't care the dirty dishes. He just rip people's, he tells so many truths about certain people in Hollywood that he just fucking hates or the arguments he's had with them. Like he hates Billy Friedkin because he had a big argument with him, but he still made 3 movies with him. But this latest episode of The Abyss, yeah, he talks a bit about Ed Harris, like that character he is, like in real life, and which is really interesting, but made total sense about Ed Harris just being he's a man's man type of thing, like
Yeah, you can
just the
tell.
differences between them. He didn't really talk much about the grueling aspect of Cameron, but yeah, I mean, these hints of it in there. Like, highly recommend that podcast. I've recommended it to anyone who will listen to me, to be honest. It's just good fun, it's good laugh. His son is the producer of it, and his other mate Jim. And he talks about his agents and how he hates Lauren Bacall because he worked with her once. Said she was the worst person he's ever worked with. She was a real
Wow.
bitch. Yeah, just you get some great dirt, and he doesn't care what he says, man. And then there's other episodes he has with guests that he's worked with, and like actors that you may not know, but you've definitely seen them. Um, really interesting stuff. Anyway, I probably ranted on about that a little bit too long.
No, thanks, Adam. I'm going to get straight onto the Michael Bean podcast
Yeah,
because, yeah, that sounds, yeah, fascinating.
it's fantastic. Yeah, it is. It's great. Like it's just I'm out walking around my neighborhood when I go for walks and listen to it, and yeah, I'm sure people think I'm crazy because I'm just walking around laughing for in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, no, I've
Um,
been there many times.
how do you organize back to why we're here? How do you organize your collection?
Yeah, so organizing my collection's an ongoing battle.
Yeah,
I'd say my
it,
collection's a bit disorganized at the moment, but I
I should
try
say,
to.
how do you currently organize it? Because it always changes.
Yeah, so the way that I try to do it is by label, and sort of
Oh,
by sub-label or sub-genre as well. So
okay,
I try
sounds
to have,
interesting.
yeah, so I've got all my umbrella slip covers together,
Mm.
but then there's the umbrella like uh, beyond genres collection, which is mainly
Yeah,
horror films, right?
yeah, I do the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Umbrella World Cinema, so they're all together. So
Right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, because I do my umbrellas are in like my beyond genres and the slipcover stuff. General umbrella stuff is just in my normal Blu-ray collections. But um, yeah, that's interesting that you do the same. It's fascinating.
Yep.
I have my arrows all together. Like my arrow slipcovers and the box sets are all together on the same shelf. And so is my Giallo. Like all my Giallo stuff's on the one shelf as well.
Yep, nice. Yeah, so yeah, I do the same with Arrow, but yeah, again,
Mm.
it's an ongoing sort of um process because I'm just using
Yeah.
normal bookshelves
Yeah.
to hold my
Yeah.
Blu-rays, so they're all double stacked, and then there's a stack
Mhm.
behind them, and yeah, it gets a bit unwieldy sometimes.
Yeah. Was it you that reached out to me? Because when I got my new shelves, I posted them and someone reached out and said, "Oh, where'd you get your shelves from?" And they're just like the Billies from IKEA. Was that you that did that? No.
May have been, yeah, yeah, not
Okay.
sure.
Someone did. But yeah, because
Yeah.
they're double, you can double stack in them, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. But no, I'm not trying to make this about me. But what I have done now is I actually have made I tier them. So the back row is on a tier, and so and then there's a front row is on a lower tier, so you can see both titles, front and back. I'm not sure if that makes
So,
sense.
but do you use material to prop up the back tier?
Well, yes, what I use, because oddly enough, the perfect width of these shelves is 4 DVDs. So I've actually been
Ah,
to some of my old DVDs that I had upgraded, I just had in a box. So I've used some of those, but I've also just gone to op shops because you can buy 10 DVDs for $5. And because actually buying blank DVD covers is expensive. So you just go to the op shop and buy old DVDs. I just stack them up in like piles of 3 or 4, and then I cover them with literal A4 sheets of paper. So they look like the white shelf still, and then put the movies on top and put the other movies in front. It's a really easy way to do it, and it works really good.
interesting. That sounds really good.
Mm. I'll send you a photo of it later if you like.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Um, Sorry, so we're still talking about how you organize yours. Sorry. So with your general Blu-rays then, like your general Blu, do they are they just still stored on the shelf? Because obviously you couldn't separate every label out, surely.
No, not well, not yet at least. I'd say yeah, everything else. It's a bit of a dog's breakfast, but I try to organize it by theme maybe, or
Okay.
I might experiment by organizing by director,
Yeah.
or maybe just organizing them alphabetically.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually did mine by director once when I had a smaller collection and it just grew too much. It was like it was impossible to keep up with.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
Um,
but yeah, like I think unless like once you've got a big collection, like I think you probably do
mm.
need uh, more custom-made shelves that are sort of made just for holding Blu-rays. But then that,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
might be a problem for special edition stuff. So,
It's also
like,
hard for space. Like depends on
yes,
the space, the size of the space you've got as well. Because I brought extra shelves because I had so many movies that were just sitting in boxes. Just
mm,
because, yeah, like I said, the way you organize is ever evolving. Um, my dream is to literally have everything stored like a video store used to. You had genres like you have your horror section and your comedy section and your action section, and but but again, that's really hard. Genre is hard to define sometimes with some movies too, right? So,
it is. Yeah, there's definitely some borderline cases, and
mm,
yes, yeah, some
yeah.
films, yeah, could equally be considered, you know,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
I've actually started a new podcast, which by the time this airs, episodes should have dropped, and we talk about it's a horror podcast, and we're talking and one of our big discussions about what really is a horror movie, what distinguishes horror from, what is horror, I suppose. Because I have one of my key hot takes is that I think Jurassic Park is a horror movie.
mm.
Whereas there's something like, oh, look, I can't even think of it at the moment. But genre, long story short, genre is really hard to define in some
Yeah, it is hard to
circumstances.
define.
Mm.
Yeah, horror is a really broad category.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, like, I love horror because of the suspense and the tension that it builds.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think yeah, like its role in storytelling can be really good. Like a lot of
Hmm.
Argento's films would be considered to be horror just for, I suppose, one for the
Hmm.
psychological terror aspect that's sometimes present, but also the blood and gore. And I think
Yeah.
that stylized violence
Mm.
has a really important role in his films, and they make them just so yeah, just so fun and great to watch.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it is a broad category. Yeah, I'd probably agree with you that Jurassic Park's a horror film. Like it's got like the monster aspect,
Yeah.
like this
It's a
like
creature
these
feature, but it's
yeah,
a
creature
family
feature.
adventure. It's
Yes.
really this is the genius of Spielberg is that he passes it off as like this family adventure film. But
Mm,
really, being chased by dinosaurs and chewed in half by them, and that's horror, right?
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Like yeah, put yourself in the position of those characters. Like imagine
yeah,
being chased by a
yeah,
T-Rex, right? It would be
yeah,
horrifying.
absolutely. But then again, I also look at movies like Silence of the Lambs, which is a famous horror film. I don't think Silence of the Lambs is a horror film.
But would you consider it to be psychological horror?
Well, to me, it's like an X-Files episode. It's a detective story. It's like they're hunting a serial killer. I mean, there's not really that much psychological horror in it either. It's really she's investigating and trying to find this serial killer while she's also trying to find the serial killer through another serial killer. I don't even know that there's psychological horror in there. There's suspense and tension. I don't class it as horror because I had a conversation and literally had like 3 nights ago that if you did that, then Seven would be a horror film as well. And I don't think Seven is a horror film. Um,
Yeah, you're right. Like, I wouldn't think of yeah, Seven as being a horror
it's,
film. But yeah,
but
again,
it's
maybe I would say that it's psychological horror.
well, is it though? It's like yeah. Look, and this is back to the same thing. Genre is really hard to define, and it means something different to everyone else. And I think that was the conclusion that me and my other host came down to is that yeah, it's all about the vibe, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, another aspect of it is that directors, when they make new films, like they're often trying to push the boundaries. So they're trying to, turn existing genres on their head. They're trying to do
Yeah,
things that are
absolutely.
really leans,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
Which is good.
a lot of
It's
good directors are really successful with that. So
yeah.
yeah, going back to Argento,
Mm,
like he was strongly influenced by Alfred Hitchcock. So yeah, he took a lot of
yeah.
those themes and
Yeah.
themes from horror films and mixed them up
Yeah.
into totally novel and new ways. You know, like his Giallo films, like they're really good like murder mysteries. Like if you just cared
Yeah.
about murder
Yeah.
mysteries, like
Yeah.
they're all excellent. Like I love the murder
Mm,
mystery. Like it's one of my favorite genres
yeah.
of film and TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as a family, we really love watching the Poirot films. You know, the ones with
Oh yeah. 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 The like
yeah.
as in not the Kenneth Branagh ones, the other
Yeah,
ones.
so previously, so ITV, they were running from
Ah.
1989 to 2013. So they had David Suchet as
Yeah, the guy with the big mustache.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I know who you
that's
mean.
like they're great.
Mm,
So they made a mix
mm,
of made for TV movies and also TV shows.
mm.
But yeah, I reckon yes, some of those films are dead set masterpieces, right?
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah, I agree.
yes.
I've had a bit of a run on the murder mysteries because strangely enough, I don't like procedural shows, but some of those murder mystery ones, I used to like watching Monk. I used to watch Murder She Wrote with my dad back in the day, things like that. And I've kind of fallen into them a bit, thanks to Ryan Johnson, really, with his Knives Out series and whatnot. But
Mm,
do you watch Poker Face?
no.
Supposed to be good. I've not seen it, but it's on Stan. I don't have Stan, but Poker Face is supposed to be the shit. Like if you like murder mystery stuff, they actually Brian Johnson was on a podcast I listened to called The Spiel, which is basically a podcast all about Spielberg stuff, and he was on there talking about Columbo, and then he talks about Poker Face because there's a new season coming out. But he really has redefined the murder mystery with Knives Out.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So on uh Faro, so there's
Yeah,
one in
sorry, yeah,
particular that I would recommend. It's called the ABC Murders.
okay.
Yeah, so it's yeah based on yeah one of the Agatha Christie novels,
Mm-hmm.
and like it just blows my mind because in a sense it's just some random made for TV movie, but I
Mm.
think it's one of the best films ever made, really. And
Yeah, wow.
it's one where you can't you can get the Praro collection on DVD, but not on Blu-ray. So I think it's been out of print for, you know, so many years, probably 5+ years.
Did
Um,
Vision do one of those?
that's a really good question.
I think
Not that
so,
I
it
know
did.
of. But yeah, for some reason, I can sort of remember seeing
Yes.
a Blu-ray collection on Amazon. It was like $600 or something, right? But it's just been out of print ever since. So you can get Praro Blu-rays in other languages, like I don't know, French or German.
Ah,
But yeah,
okay.
I am a bit reluctant to get Blu-rays in different languages. I don't think they fit in with my collection that well, and I've had one bad experience. Because last year I was trying to get scanners on Blu-ray, right?
Ah,
And
okay.
I couldn't get it anywhere. Like you couldn't even get it on Apple TV or Amazon Prime or anything. So I bought this copy of scanners from Rare Waves. It was like $17, but unbeknownst to me, it was the Italian version of the Blu-ray.
Ah,
So,
right.
but yeah, the way they did it, you either watched the original English audio with the Italian subtitles or Italian audio on its own. Maybe with English subtitles was an option, but
Hmm.
it was either one or the other, right? So yeah, I couldn't watch it just with the original English and no subtitles. So yeah, so I moved heaven and earth to um, get a Blu-ray of Scanners. I probably paid $50 off Zavi or something to get it. And then what, 6 months later, Arrow releases
Well,
a 4K.
that leads nicely into my next question is what do you have any regrets? Anything you regret buying? And that's the type of scenario that I've had too, where I've gone, fuck it, man. I've just brought paid premium for this Blu-ray because and then all of a sudden some arsehole brings out the 4K.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I suppose there was a bit of bad timing there, but
Mm,
like like I really wanted to see Scanners. I think it's a really important film. So
yeah.
I'm glad that I got there eventually. But yeah, the timing's a bit disappointing. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, I don't really have that many regrets, thankfully. Um, I've got I've got mixed feelings about some things that I've bought. So, you know how
Mm.
Vision has those special editions with lenticular cases, sort
Ah,
of got
yes,
that
yes.
3D effect.
Yeah, I've got a few of
Um,
those. Yeah.
yeah, I've got a few of those as well. Like I think I've got Grindhouse, I've got Roadhouse, and I feel like I've got one other as well. Um, they're cool in a way, but they take up so much space. I think they're basically triple the size of a
They are,
regular.
it's for two movies. It takes up so much room.
Yeah, so just yeah, it's a cool concept, but in terms of storage, like I don't think it works that well. And because the way that you store it, or at least the way I store it, it's just the spine's facing out, so you don't get to see that particular cover very much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's a really good point, to be honest, because I know a lot of people, and this is one of my questions is as well as does the packaging of something affect the way you buy it? But I mean, after you just showed me your A24 stop making sense, but I mean, there's always exceptions to rules, but is that something that you focus on? Because at the end of the day, like you said, movies just sit and spine out in your collection, right?
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. So I'm a big fan of slip covers. I believe for the most part, a slip cover means that it's a first edition. Um, so yeah,
Yes, yeah.
I like that idea. I think the slipcover looks fantastic on my bookshelf. Yeah, it just adds a bit of charm. So yeah,
Hmm.
love a good slipcover. Also it doesn't take up any extra space, so that's something I love about it as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've never really got into steelbooks. I do have
Hmm.
quite a few like when the opportunities come up. Like I think I've got the Terminator 4K restoration on Steelbook, Godzilla minus one. So yeah, if it comes up, I think it's pretty good. But I think yeah, getting into Steelbooks it can be like a bit too expensive. And
Mm, definitely.
Heard a few bad stories with steelbooks, like the hinges being a bit
Oh.
flimsy and that kind of thing. Have you heard that?
Well, yeah. Well, not to be honest, not directly. I have quite a few steelbooks, but I don't seek steelbooks. Like a lot of the ones I have, especially with the Warner titles, they're $3 extra more than the standard, and plus you get the Blu-ray with it. So I'm going to spend an extra $3 on that. Why not? But some of them I have are just movies I really love, or even it's always a different story. So it's like sometimes I'll just love the artwork on it. Like not a regret, but I did get the Heretic steelbook from the UK in the 4K because we never got a 4K in Australia. So I thought, well, I really loved Heretic, so then I'll just get the 4K and get the steelbook. It was $60 from Rare Waves or something. It's a bit silly, but it looks great. That's a beautiful steelbook with embossing and whatnot. But regarding the hinges, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they can rust, but I also put mine in protective plastic covers as well. Like solid plastic sheets. You can actually buy them on Amazon or eBay. Um, and
So
look
have you
after
had
them.
any experiences with steelbooks rusting or the hinges rusting or anything?
Yeah, nothing major though. I actually have an old X-Men Blu-ray steelbook, which I haven't got covered, and that's got a little bit of whatnot on it. Or I've seen them in op shops as well, where you can see that they're rusted and whatnot because they haven't been looked after. Nothing in my collection is really like that though. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, interesting.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I also love a good special edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love some of those new Arrow limited editions.
Mm.
Like I've got the one for Silence of the Lambs.
Ah, yeah.
I think that's great. And again, like it's a film that my wife and I were really familiar with. Like we would have watched it, a fair few times back in the day on DVD. But
Mm.
then watching the new Arrow 4K disc, it's just like watching a brand new film. Like there's
Yeah.
just like so
Yeah.
much detail,
Mm.
like a lot of fine detail, like in the background, in people's faces for close-ups and so on. It's like watching a new film.
Mm.
Like you could have seen it so many times, but yeah, you just can't believe the detail that's present. Yeah, another great special edition that I've got is this one for The Conversation by Studio
Oh,
Canal, right?
wow.
So
I only
it's
watched that for the first time maybe a week or two ago.
yeah, nice. It's yeah, yeah, brilliant film.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like Coppola really like he knows how to. um, build that sense of paranoia and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that feeling of you know being watched and so on. It's just incredible. But yeah, I love this special edition from Studio Canal because it's got the discs. It looks like the
Yeah.
on the tape reel.
Yeah.
And it's got an actual cassette of the conversation in the film,
Oh, does it?
right?
Really?
Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So I'm still meaning to listen to the cassette.
Have
Yeah.
you ever seen a movie? Because I know you sound like you're into the audio and a great double feature with the conversation is another film about audio called Blow Up, Brian De
Blow
Palma film.
Blowout. Yeah.
Blow Out, sorry. Yes, Blow Up is completely different.
Yeah.
Blow Out,
Different
yeah.
film.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. So I saw Blowout recently. Yeah.
Yeah,
That just
yeah.
blew my mind.
It's great, right?
Um.
It's so
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, so the conversation, it's a bit of a slow burn, but
Mm,
Blowout, it's sort of like taking a similar premise, but sort of,
yes.
yeah, dialing up to 11, right? Political
Yeah.
intrigue and,
Well, it's De Palma,
um,
right? Like
yeah,
that's an American Giallo film. Like it's
yes,
yeah, 100%. And actually, I wanted to also give you another recommendation, a podcast. Quentin Tarantino has a podcast with Roger Avery called The Video Archives. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, he does an episode. He actually does a special episode on there with Eli Roth about Giallo and about American Giallo. And
Oh,
I
that
lo-
sounds so interesting. Yeah.
Tell you what, man, Eli Roth is between him and Tarantino, two of the best communicators of film of all time. Like Eli Roth is a Giallo expert, and he just shows off in that episode. It's such a great episode to listen to. I actually want to go back and listen to it again now that I've watched a bit. And it's in season one of the show, so you have to delve back, scroll back a bit.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll do.
but I love listening to Eli Roth talk about film. He's actually in another podcast I listened to called TCM, China Classic Movies, do a podcast called what's that called? It's a rare one. They did a special episode recently with Eli Roth because it was in front of a live audience, and it was a great episode. Just listen to this guy talking about film. It's insanely. It's just brilliant.
Yeah,
What's
I've
the
got,
podcast called? Talking Pictures. It's called. TCM. Yeah, and it's the last episode. It's a bonus episode called with Eli Roth. It's really, really great.
yeah,
I
that's really
lo
interesting. Yeah, so it's Talking Pictures, the podcast where they'll often focus on a director and look at their entire filmography.
don't think so. No, no. He does have no. It's not because he has a lot of actors on there, and they talk about. Well, he has a standard set of questions that he asks everyone. Um, and it's always just great to listen to him. He even asks, "What's your
Okay,
what's
yep.
your?"
Sorry, the podcast that I'm thinking of is the big picture. So
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I listened to the
a
big picture actually.
yeah. So yeah, they've done some really interesting episodes. Like I
They
listened
do
to
their
one
movie drafts
on
and stuff. I actually like their movie draft episodes that they do.
yeah, nice. I remember a few years ago they had a an episode on David Lynch, and
Ah, yep.
yeah, that was super interesting. So that was yeah, probably before I'd bought most of his collection of physical media, and I think before I watched Twin Peaks as well. So yeah, like it was really interesting to get that overview on his work. Um,
Yeah, yeah, they're good, and they talk about film really. There's film nerds kind of like us that have just developed into experts on it. So yeah, they know what they're talking about. Yeah,
mm, they
yeah.
had one episode on Sam Neill, right? So talking about Sam Neill's best
Ah,
performances, and
right.
they one of the hosts rated Sam Neill's performance in Possession as possibly his
It's
very best performance.
it's pretty epic
Yeah,
though.
it is an
Yeah,
epic performance.
yeah.
Yeah, so again, I think Possession is a film that I've not really heard of prior to the Umbrella release, right?
No, I
But
had neither. No,
yeah,
no.
so I got the Umbrella release in 4K, the
Hmm.
slipcover, and it just blew my mind, right? It was
Yeah.
like yeah, David Lynch meets Alfred Hitchcock. It's just like so surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah,
It's
just like
definitely a throwback to like a Mario Bava film, actually, as
yeah.
well. Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
I don't think I've seen any Mario Bava films. So
When you
uh,
go into Arrow, Like just yeah, try just him and between him and Fulci, Lucio Fulci and Mario Bava, like they're just great. Yeah, they do
Yeah.
great stuff. I mean, if you love Argento, you're gonna absolutely love those guys.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to see get a 4K transfer?
That's a really good question. There's probably a few things. I want to see Terminator 2 get a proper 4K transfer.
Yeah, I
So
don't know what your chances are on that though,
yeah,
sadly.
probably zero. While
I've not actually watched my 4K of it. Everyone shits all over it.
yeah,
And I
don't bother. It's not
really?
worth it at all. Like
Oh,
it's
really?
just completely unwatchable slop. It really is.
Really?
Yeah,
Uh,
I've got
That's not cool.
yeah. So like it's yeah completely ruined. I don't think it ever had a recent 4K restoration because the restoration that's used today, I think it's like a 2K digital intermediate that was used for the
Hmm.
purpose of doing a 3D release back in 2012. So that's that same 2K
Uh-huh.
DI that was
Right.
just upscaled
Yeah.
for the 4K release.
Gotcha.
And it's got yeah tons of digital noise reduction, like it's yeah like overly smooth and fuzzy, like the colors are way off.
Cameron
Um,
seems to do that with his films, right? Like,
Yeah, I think Terminator 2's like the most egregious example.
mm, okay.
Off eBay, I've bought two Blu-rays by Studio Canal of a previous release of Terminator 2. So
Okay.
there's the Skynet edition, and there's another Studio Canal one. Um, it's got like a comic book kind of aesthetic on the cover.
Right.
But yeah, the Skynet edition is the one that I'd recommend. Like it's
Okay.
yeah. So watching that, yeah, to be honest, like I'm pretty happy. Like I don't really see much need for an upgrade. Like the image is like fairly sharp. You know, you've still got plenty of grain. You can see the burn marks
Mm,
in some of the frames. The audio is great. The color grading is great. It's yeah really accurate.
okay.
Yeah, so Terminator 2 Skynet Edition. That's the one that I'd recommend. It's got the metal skull on the front.
Okay. I'll have to, well, track it down if I don't like my T2. I know a lot of people shat on the Inglorious Bastards 4K. And I watched that recently and I thought it was pretty fine, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't the best 4K I've ever seen, but it was fine. It didn't hurt my eyes or anything.
Yeah,
Didn't
interesting. Yeah,
offend
I've
me.
got a copy of the one that was released in Australia. I don't know
Yeah,
if
same.
the same transfer was used for the Arrow release.
Apparently it was. From what I've heard, it is the same. It hasn't been touched, which is weird because I know I've also heard because the Arrow have done the Man with No Name trilogy on 4K, and Kino also did those. But apparently the Arrow have why can't I think of the word?
Uh,
Reformatted,
yeah,
remastered it.
or
So
remastered. Yeah.
apparently they're better than the Kino ones, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think the Man with No Name trilogy, it was always a bit controversial because the original film negative was so
Mm.
degraded. So
Yeah, okay.
there were always like questions about the accuracy of the color and so on.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, they could make it up.
Yeah, I think yeah, with a lot of film restorations where they go back to the original film negative, I believe that there are other versions of the film, like maybe other films that were used for the actual projection and so on.
Right.
Like they've got a few different films that they can cross-reference to
Mm-hmm.
sort of get an idea about what the most accurate version is in terms of yeah color grading and so on. So
Gotcha.
I think they did that with 2001, but but yeah, if there's only a film negative and that's it for a film like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, well,
Mm.
yeah, they've got to yeah make their best guess. I'd
Yeah.
say because yeah, you don't have
Yeah.
much else to go on.
Maybe that's what Keno did in Arrow. I've seen it and gone, we can make this better, and seems to be what they did.
Yeah, probably, and
Mm.
yeah, I'm sure they would because yeah, Arrow usually hit it out of the park.
I can probably see Terminator 2 getting another upgrade, or because they know they would sell it, but they'd probably wait for like what are we up to? Probably a 40th anniversary of it, which will be 2032 or something.
Yeah,
Which,
probably. Yes.
yeah, or
Yeah.
35th, maybe 2027. Yeah, who knows with these companies, right? Like you just never know when they're
Yeah,
going to
that's
do it.
it. Yeah, I just don't want James Cameron to have anything to do with that restoration because yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's like I guess he's got a reputation for not liking film grain and not liking the original
Mm,
look of a film. Like he wants to
mm.
have like of a more
Just smooth,
yeah,
really.
like a smooth digital look. I've got
Yeah.
no idea why. But yeah, having said that,
Weird, right?
yeah, so I mentioned the Abyss earlier. So I think the 4K restoration of the Abyss is exquisite. Like I cannot fault it at
Yeah.
all.
I've not watched it
Um,
yet. I have got it on release, but haven't put it in to
yeah,
check them out.
I'd highly recommend it. It's
Mm.
yeah, it's a remarkable film.
I can vouch Titanic is one of the greatest transfers I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
so exceptional. Yeah.
Titanic is stunning. Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why it's so good with Titanic, but not some
Mm.
of Cameron's other films. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
like the format of the film that was used uh, to make the film. I know True Lies was really controversial when it came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I happened to buy it on Apple TV 3 months before it
Okay.
came out on 4K Blu-ray. I've got the 4K Blu-ray now, but
Yeah.
um, I just yeah bought it because it came out earlier. So I know there's going to be quite a bit more compression on Apple TV, but yeah, watching the digital copy on Apple TV of the 4K restoration, I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was mostly excellent, like a big step up
Okay.
from the previous Blu-ray version.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, there were a couple of frames here and there that looked a bit wonky, but I'd say
Hmm.
easily, eight out of 10 frames looked magnificent.
Okay, that's good to know. Because again, it's another one
So
I've got both of those and still haven't put them in because I actually watched them both before the 4Ks come out, so I just haven't gotten back to wanting to rewatch them. So I don't think we actually entered those. Is there anything that you do want to see on 4K? We digressed.
it's a good question.
We can come back to it if something pops in your head because it's not. Yeah, it is a kind of an on the spot type of question. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's probably like yeah, so many films out there that have never had a Blu-ray or a 4K release. You look at a label like Radiance,
hmm.
they're releasing all these films like all the time. I don't think
Yeah.
I've heard of a single film that they've released.
No, there's lots of labels like Vinegar Syndrome do the same, but I've heard maybe 20% of what they release, but yeah,
Int-
mm. But
Yeah,
yeah, Radiance is a lot of just weird eclectic stuff. It's kind of bizarre. A lot of
yeah,
Asian
that's it.
cinema too. Yeah.
Yeah, I am looking forward to a lot of Asian cinema,
Mm.
because there's like a lot of like John Woo films.
They're
So a
coming
lot
to
of
Australia.
yeah, a lot of Hong Kong films, like they've been in these like really bizarre rights disputes for decades. So
Yeah. I'm telling you now, don't import them. They are coming to Australia, the Golden Princess stuff, because Arrow have signed a deal, but also All Interactive in Australia have the same deal. Um,
interesting.
and they're just trying to figure out because we're supposed to be getting some stuff in September, like as in Hard Boiled and something City, Dark City, Dragon City, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, we're definitely getting those in Australia. So if you can hold off, because you'll pay. I would imagine the prices are going to be cheaper.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah, but a lot of those Hong Kong John Woo films, maybe
Hmm.
they came out on VHS back in the 90s, but I'm guessing a
Hmm.
lot of them haven't come out on DVD or Blu-ray at all.
Yeah, yeah. Someone's managed to find the rights to them, and I don't know what they did, but it's been shopped around and sold everywhere now. I guess on that note, then, what are your favorite films and genres? I mean, we've kind of touched on it a little bit, I suppose, but
Yeah, so we've touched on so world cinema, I think is a favorite genre, if it is a genre. I guess it's like a category.
hmm.
Um, yeah, horror is a genre that I've really got into in the last few years. I think it's one that you do need physical media for because horror films are often um, they're very dark, right? So
Yep.
they're often filmed in really dark spaces. So if you watch it on streaming, there's just too much compression, like it, like too much banding. It really takes you out of it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and I love a good action film. But yeah, my favorite films are, well, my very favorite film is It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy
Oh,
Stewart,
excellent. Yeah, nice.
right?
That's a good choice. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's a great
it's
movie.
just, yeah, really brilliant film, like really, really heartwarming, and it gets really dark. And Jimmy Stewart
Mm.
does the really um dark character work. He just does it so well and
Yeah,
so convincingly.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So Adam, I know on social media you recently said that A Christmas Carol is the best story ever told, right?
yeah.
So
I think it is. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I think that's a really interesting view, and It's a Wonderful Life. It's strongly influenced by A Christmas
Mm.
Carol because
Yep,
it's got the same kind of moral arc to it.
absolutely. Yeah. There was something that came out recently that's like a modern movie, and it's not a Christmas Carol, but it was very much a Christmas Carol story. What was that? It only came out this year. I'm not going to think of it without looking through stuff, so I won't take up all the time with it. But have you seen other Jimmy Stewart stuff? Do you like
Uh,
Jimmy Stewart in general?
I love Jimmy Stewart. He's one of my favorite actors. I suppose I've mainly seen Jimmy Stewart in Hitchcock films.
Yeah,
So yeah, so Rear Window, I think
I posted about
is
that last night too.
yeah. So I think yeah, Rear Window would have to be my favorite. Well, it's one of my favorite films. Period, right? Um,
Mm.
but yeah, Jimmy Stewart in Rear Window, Vertigo, um, and
Have you seen
yeah,
Harvey?
yes, oh, I love Harvey.
We're getting a big fat special edition of that in September of Harvey.
Interesting.
I can say
Uh,
that now because this episode's not going to air till afterwards. But yeah,
I haven't
a
seen
new
Harvey for
label.
about 20 years,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm really keen to see it again.
Mm. Yeah, Harvey and Sabrina are both getting the treatment. Keep this under your hat at the moment. But yeah, AID are doing a boutique label, going to create a boutique label.
That's really interesting.
Mm. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the name's going to be because I've given them an idea of what the name could be, but I can't wait to see what they actually announce, actually.
Why? What name did you suggest to them, Adam?
I said AID auteur because they asked me an opinion of one of the names, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, so I don't know.
As in the name of the label would just be Auteur.
Maybe AID auteur. I don't know. It's up to them to decide. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, interesting name. I think if it's AID or tour, it's like you'd have to
it's a
get used to say.
mouthful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to get used to it. It's almost a bit of a tongue twister. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. I don't know if other labels do that. I mean, Vivision have imprint. I mean, well, yeah, I don't know. It will be interesting.
yeah. No, that's big news. I cannot wait to see that.
Mm,
Um, yeah. So I love It's a Wonderful Life. I love Schindler's List. I think Schindler's List
yeah,
is by far the best film ever made. Everything about
that's
Schindler's List is just
that's a
incredible. Yeah,
that's a really great point because I think Schindler's List is an astonishing accomplishment in cinema. Like it's such a personal film as well from Spielberg, um, and it's such a harrowing, hard film to watch. But I just want to keep watching it. I just want to
yeah,
rewatch
yeah.
it all the
Same.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, so like everything about Schindler's List is just like so yeah, it's just like so profound and deep, and it's just
Mm.
done in a way that really hasn't been replicated in any other film before or
Have you
since.
seen Life is Beautiful?
Yes, yeah, Love
Yeah.
Life is
Do you
beautiful.
like that? You like that? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, so
that's
that's yeah, I've got I think I've only got like an old Blu-ray of Life is Beautiful. And the quality of that seemed like a little bit on the low side, so it made me wonder if that was really like a DVD upscale or something. So I think
might be. I've only got a DVD of it. I actually do own it on iTunes as well. But
yeah, so I think Life is Beautiful was, badly needing like a
that
4K restoration.
that's my answer for what needs a 4K. Life is beautiful for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, the good
Yeah,
answer.
I'd be all over it. I'd be all over it. Um, yeah. But yeah, Schindler's List, say the best movie ever made. I mean, it's always a big call to say whatever the best movie ever made is, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
hard to
so
argue against that.
yeah, for me it's just so obvious, but
Mm.
I get that reasonable people can disagree about that. Um
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
maybe,
I'm not
maybe.
sure what other people would say. Maybe The Godfather or Shawshank Redemption, maybe The Dark Knight, but
No, no, The Dark Knight. No, no, I'll fight against that. The Dark Knight's not even Nolan's best.
interesting. Yeah.
I actually think out of no, I think I have The Dark Knight ranked maybe 5 or 6 in my Nolan list.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
hold up. It just doesn't hold. I mean, it's still a great film, but it doesn't hold up the way it should. I think Batman Begins is a better movie. Is the best Nolan Batman. I think Batman Begins is astonishing. And they do taper off after that. I mean, I think the love for the Dark Knight is there for Heath Ledger, and rightly so, because he's phenomenal in that. But as a film, it's kind of a bit silly, especially towards the end with those two competing boats, and I think that's just a bit silly. Um, and the whole conclusion on that scaffolding kind of bothers me. It's a bit cliche and blah blah blah. Yeah. Anyway, that's just
yeah, I
my thing.
think the Dark Knight has some incredible action set pieces. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
that that chase in the middle of the film with that huge truck,
The
and
truck flip. Yeah,
yeah, the truck flip. I remember seeing that
mm.
in the cinema back in 2008
Yeah.
again
You
in
get.
the XE Max, the XI Max,
Yeah,
and it just
yeah.
blew my mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just felt
It's
like
pretty. There is, and that's why the Dark Knight holds up. Well, look, it holds up from those type of points of view. For me, in my opinion, is that yeah, because there's some pretty groundbreaking moments or pretty impressive things that you see on screen. But from a story and character perspective, it just doesn't hold up as well. I still love the film. I still think it's great, but I just don't think it holds up the way people. I don't think it deserves the pedestal that it's on, I suppose is probably what I try to say.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, we might
Anyway.
have to disagree about that, Adam, because yeah,
Have you
I think
seen The
it's
Prestige? Because I think The Prestige is a masterpiece.
that yeah, that's a really good point. I haven't seen The Prestige for about
Uh,
15 or so years.
yeah,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
That is
keen
a
to
masterpiece. Mm.
uh go back and have a look.
Um,
But yeah, I've always been a
yeah.
really big Christopher Nolan fan.
Mm.
Yeah, so going back to Memento, I think
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Memento is just exquisite. Like
It's
the,
Memento's
the,
genius.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is genius. Like the level of skill that went
Mm.
into making that and making it work so well is
Yeah.
just mind blowing.
Yep.
Like, you
Yeah.
know,
I
if
still
that
prefer Dunkirk. I think Dunkirk's also better than his Batman films. Like Dunkirk's amazing.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen Dunkirk streaming on Stan. So if
Okay.
I do have the 4K Blu-ray now. So if
Yeah.
I watch that now, I think it's gonna
It's just
um
it's such a masterpiece of storytelling because it's all over different timelines. Like the plane, they're in the plane for an hour, and they're in the boats for a day, and they're in on the shore for a week. But he tells this interwoven story of these three different timelines, and it's all happening at the same time. It's fucking amazing. I think
yeah,
it's amazing.
yeah, that is mind blowing. I'm keen to go back and watch Dunkirk.
Mm. And yeah, when those explosions hit at the start on the beach, when they bomb the beach, loud as hell.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
loud.
incredible. Yeah, that's one that yeah, you definitely need a like a
Yeah.
good home theater
Yeah.
system to appreciate like the scale of those explosions.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. And Interstellar, I think that's one that gets
Oh, yes.
highly
Yeah.
rated by Nolan fans.
Interstellar, when I first watched it, I'm like, man, it's pretty good. I didn't like the ending that much, but every rewatch of Interstellar, it just keeps going up in my estimations. Interstellar is fantastic. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
Interstellar's genius.
Yeah.
If you said Interstellar's the best Nolan film, I'd probably
You can't argue against
yeah, you
it.
can't argue against it.
Yeah. He's you've probably heard you listen to my stuff. You've heard me say this before, like he's kind of almost in the realm of Tarantino, where if you say whatever your favorite Tarantino film is, you're not wrong because they're all equal. They're all worthy of being his best films, every one of them. Um, and Nolan's almost there. There's a few in his catalog that are a bit eh. Tenet, for one thing, you could know if anyone ever says Tenet is Nolan's best film, and then I think they're on drugs. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Tenet's a really interesting film. Like,
it
yeah,
is.
Nolan's trying to push the boundaries for Tenet. Some parts
He
of it don't
pushed
work. Some parts of it do work, right?
he
So
pushed a lot of boundaries in that film. Yeah, well, it's Lynchian because it's just so fucking hard to understand.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, try to
Mm,
understand it. Like, it's not gonna
yeah,
make a full consistent story. Like, if you try to
yeah,
write out a timeline or something, like you're
yeah,
gonna find some contradiction somewhere in the timeline.
yeah. You have to. I like watching it. But, well, I've seen it a few times. It is a good film to watch, but yeah, it's my least favorite of his films actually. Um, yeah.
And yeah, years ago I watched Insomnia. Yeah, it didn't quite work
Yeah.
for me.
I
Uh,
watched that again last year, and that because I'd only seen it the once, and I enjoyed it quite a bit compared to the first time. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm keen to go back and revisit it to see if Insomnia still holds up.
yeah,
I think, yeah, Robin Williams' performance probably carries the film.
yeah. Because he's so against type, against what you'd normally think he's going to
Absolutely.
be. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's interesting to hear Nolan talk about his experience with Al Pacino on that film too,
Oh,
actually.
really? I haven't heard that.
Oh, haven't you? He's basically because it was an early film for him, and he was kind of trying to give Al Pacino direction, and Pacino kind of had a word to him, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. Maybe I should just shut up and let you act," kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
And has
I've,
Nolan taken that on board for future films? Just to let it know.
because I've heard later stories where Gary Oldman says the best note he's ever got from a director was from Nolan because he was acting in something, and Nolan just come up to him and said. All Nolan actually said to him was, next take, there's more at stake. And Gary Oldman was like, gotcha. Like, that's an amazing piece of direction from a director to give an actor. It's like, there's just more at stake. That's all you need to do. You don't have to go into all this bullshit. There's more at stake. And just act like there's more at stake. And he's like, I nailed it next time. Like, it was brilliant. Like, the best note I've ever gotten. So maybe Al Pacino did teach him. I don't know. But he draws the best, like, he draws great performances from all of his. You can't deny that in all of his films that their performances are shit, right? Like they're always great performances. Christian Bale in The Prestige is like peak, like one of the best performances of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. Anyway, I guess yeah, it's interesting.
Absolutely. All right, I've got to watch The
Yeah,
Prestige today, I reckon.
yeah. I'm watching Leon. That's my takeaway.
Yep. Yeah, same.
Yeah, and probably on that note, we've been going for a while, so we probably should wrap it up. We've covered everything I need to cover. Is there anything you want to add, or is there anything that you think we may have missed?
I'm sure we did miss a lot, and yeah, maybe we can have another podcast in a year or two,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, go over our new collections and learnings
Mm,
and so on. But yeah, I'd just like to say physical media is the shit. And you also need to like really like appreciate the director's intent with
mm,
watching a film. So like
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, so like yeah, for me it's all about yeah, being true to the director's intent and having a
Hmm.
really accurate reproduction
Yep.
of that film. So if you're watching a Blu-ray or the 4K, like as Christopher Nolan said, like that is
Mm.
like the most accurate
Yes.
version of the film that you can watch.
Yes.
That's going to be uh, true to the director's intent.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like you need to have that full like immersion. Like you need to have that really accurate reproduction of the film. But
Mm.
perhaps more importantly, like you said, Adam, is that you need to have that big cinematic sound as well, right?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
the deep bass, the surround sound,
Hmm.
the height and the huge sound
Yeah.
stage that you get.
If you have the means to do it, absolutely, and you love film, that's how
Yeah,
you're going to
that's
get the
right.
best out of your film for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
worth it. It doesn't have to
Mm.
cost you that much, and I think at a
No.
minimum,
No.
like yeah, just all you need is a soundbar and a separate subwoofer, and you're good to
Yep.
go.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and it's interesting. Nolan does say the definitive version of his films are the home versions, the home releases, these Blu-rays and whatnot. He actually says that on, I'm not sure if you've seen there's a YouTube channel. They're French, and it's kind of like the Criterion Closet, but it's an actual video store, and they have the filmmakers or actors go in there and pick out what their favorite films are. They don't get to take them home; they just talk about them. And Christopher Nolan did one before whatever his last Oppenheimer. Yeah, and it's a really interesting conversation watching him talk, actually.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's a conversation that really struck a chord with me, and it's so true because if you stream a film, say stream one of Nolan's films on Netflix or whatever, and then watch the 4K Blu-ray, like
Mm,
the difference in quality is just night and day, right?
yeah,
It's almost it's almost like watching two different films. And
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, like you do really need that visual immersion, like that clarity and the detail and the depth and the realism in the picture.
Hmm.
But yeah, also in the sound as well, just to get that big cinematic sound, that realism, like you feel like you are there, like you feel like you're hearing a real explosion, real gunfire, like
Yeah.
yeah, like real sound.
It does make movies better for sure. It really does. Yeah. Um, so on that note though, thank you very much, man, for being on the show. I do appreciate it. Thanks for sharing your time and yeah, I hope you've had some fun.
Thank thank you, Adam. It's been yeah so much fun. I've learned so much from your podcast and your social media channel. So keep up the good work, mate.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to get some good feedback. It's unusual to get good feedback in modern world, but I do appreciate it. For our listeners out there, Curbside Collections is part of the SPDM Crew podcasting network, where you can get many variety of podcasts. If you're into that sort of thing, just check out the channel and you'll see something there for you, guaranteed. Yeah, we cover everything, maybe except pet grooming. I don't know. And if you have enjoyed the episode or enjoy the show, hit me a DM if you want to be on, because I would love to have you on and interview you. And much like I have with Michael here, had a good conversation about movies. So, yeah, until next time, thanks for tuning in to Curbside Collections.